Chapter 2037. In the end, Qin Fun decided to take a look around the Purple Cloud Mountain Range by himself. He stopped the cultivators who wanted to accompany him. If it was really, as everyone said, in a body condensation state or cauldron filling state supreme, being came from the formation gate above the Purple Cloud Mountain Range, then these cultivators would only become his burden. When he arrived at the periphery of the Violet Cloud Mountain Range, Qin Fun used his divine sense to scan the faintly discernible white arrayed door in the distant sky. When this arrayed door was first formed, Qin Fun was worried that there would be some hidden danger. "Junior, come over." Just as Qin Fung reached the edge of the mountain, a group of people called out to him. There were 5 people in a group. The man who called out to him was in his 40s and was at Hollow Spirit State Level 5. However, he called Qin Fung a junior. It was obvious that he was a cultivator from somewhere else. Otherwise, how could he not know Qin Feng's status in the Northern Sand Continent? Qin Feng ignored him and looked at the 2 old men at the back of the group. Their auras were extremely strong. One of them was at body condensation state level 7, while the other was at a higher level. Qin Feng couldn't tell it all. "And Junior, I'm asking you a question. Are you deaf or mute?" The Hollow Spirit State cultivator saw that Qin Feng didn't reply, and a powerful qi surged from his body. "Who are you?" Qin Feng asked. He didn't believe that these people were from the Northern Sand Continent. The spiritual energy in the Northern Sand Continent was so dense that it was hard to even reach body condensation state. Who do you think you are to question me? Hurry up and answer my question, or I'll kill you with my sword." The Hollow Spirit State cultivator was extremely arrogant and took out a low-grade cultivation treasure sword. Qin Feng didn't like him for a long time. So what if he had a body condensation state tertiary stage cultivator, a cauldron filling state cultivator behind him? Qin Feng would kill him. Shua! He slashed through the air. The purple sword radiance was extremely fast. Before the body condensation state and cauldron filling state cultivator could react, the explosion had already exploded on the Hollow Spirit State cultivator's body, instantly killing him. The crowd was shocked, not only because of the death of their comrade, but also because of Qin Feng's cultivation. The comrade who was killed was a Hollow Spirit State intermediate stage expert. Yet, he was instantly killed. It was obvious that this youth was not simple. "Head Zhang, what do we do now?" The remaining 2 cultivators who looked like disciples cupped their fists behind them. The face of the old man whose cultivation-based Qin Feng couldn't see through darkened. He coldly transmitted his voice. "We've just teleported here. Don't be in a hurry to make a move. Ask them what this place is." The 2 disciples were both Hollow Spirit State late stage. The arrogant disciple who was killed by Qin Feng was the one with the lowest cultivation. "Senior, I hope you won't blame me if I offended you just now." One of the disciples cupped his fists toward Qin Feng. His attitude was completely different from the dead disciple. There could be a cauldron filling state expert on the other side. Qin Feng didn't want to offend them unless he had to. "Tell me where you are from." The disciple looked behind him, and after receiving the head signal, he said to Qin Feng, "I am from Shuiyu City, a disciple of the Zhang family. The 2 behind me are the head of the Zhang family, Zhang Sanhe, and the vice head, Zhang Bailing. The head brought us to explore Shuiyu Holy Land, and we found a small secret realm. After entering the teleportation formation, we were teleported to this place. The spiritual energy here is extremely poor, and the environment is terrible. It seems to be outside of Shuiyu Holy Land. I would like to ask Qian Bei, where is this place? How far is it from Shuiyu City?" The disciple was very detailed, and Qin Feng understood. However, he was confused. There didn't seem to be Shuiyu City in the North Sand Continent, and he had never heard of Shuiyu Holy Land. "This is Purple Cloud Mountain. I don't know where Shuiyu City is. Could be a border city in the North Sand Continent." The North Sand Continent was vast, and Qin Feng didn't know everything. If Shuiyu City was really near the border, it was normal that he didn't know about it. However, the 4 of them looked extremely shocked. The disciple shouted, "Qian Bei, what did you just say? This is the North Sand Continent? Are you kidding me?" Qin Feng immediately realized that something was wrong. Shuiyu City shouldn't be a border city in the North Sand Continent. It was very likely that it wasn't even on the North Sand Continent's territory. "Where is Shuiyu City?" Qin Feng asked. The disciple answered instinctively. "Qianbei, if you don't know about Shuiyu City, it is one of the 4 great continents of the West Sea Continent. It has the most holy land." This time, it was Qin Feng's turn to be shocked. They were teleported here from the West Sea Continent? He couldn't wrap his head around it. The 4 continents of the Divine Supreme Continent were separated by the fallen God Sea. Each continent was millions or even millions of miles away from each other. Could it be that these people were teleported here from the white portal above Purple Cloud Mountain? Wasn't that teleportation array too terrifying? However, Qin Feng quickly calmed down. Compared to the portal that teleported him from Earth to the North Sand Continent, the portal in Purple Cloud Mountain was nothing. North Sand Continent. This is the North Sand Continent, the cultivation wasteland of the Divine Supreme Continent. Zhang Sanhe seemed to have just regained his senses and muttered to himself. Vice Patriarch Zhang Beiling's face suddenly turned cold. He glared at Qin Feng and said, "Senior Zhang, if this is really the North Sand Continent, then with our cultivation, we can dominate the entire continent. That brat dared to kill the Zhang family's disciple. We must teach him a lesson." Zhang Sanhe did not care about Qin Feng at all. He had already seen through Qin Feng's cultivation level. Qin Feng was just a body condensation realm ant. The reason why he did not attack Qin Feng and even asked the disciple to be respectful was because he did not know what this place was. Who knew if this young man in front of him had any powerful force supporting him? Now that he knew the truth, Zhang Sanhe had no intention of attacking Qin Feng. The North Sand Continent was the cultivation wasteland of the Divine Supreme Continent. He was suddenly teleported from the West Sea Continent, which was full of spiritual energy, to the North Sand Continent. The feeling was like falling from heaven to hell. "Hurry up and think of a way to leave this place." Zhang Sanhe snorted. Zhang Beiling said, "Senior brother, I suspect that there is a problem with the teleportation array in the Holy Lands of Snow Domain. It sent us to the North Sand Continent by mistake. That teleportation array is a single teleportation array. We can't go back." Of course, Zhang Sanhe had a clearer view than Zhang Beiling. He already knew that the teleportation array was a single teleportation array. It could only send people to one side and not the other. Moreover, if there was a problem with the teleportation array, it would form a black hole similar to the chaotic space. The black hole could send you to the chaotic space and kill you instantly. It could also send you to a perfect space. However, if there was a problem with the teleportation array, it would usually send you to the chaotic space. Now that Zhang Sanhe and the others were sent to the North Sand Continent, it could be considered a blessing in disguise. Damn the teleportation array. This has wasted at least 3 years of our cultivation time, Zhang Sanhe said angrily. When they found out that they were sent to the North Sand Continent, the 2 Zhang family's disciples were in despair. They felt as if they had arrived in hell. However, Zhang Beiling did not seem to be that disappointed. There was even a flash of a smile in his eyes. "Senior brother, it may be a blessing in disguise. Maybe this is our opportunity." Bullshit opportunity. The spiritual energy in the North Sand Continent is about the same as the spiritual energy in a mortal city in the West Sea Continent. How can this cultivation wasteland be considered an opportunity? "Stop comforting me," Zhang Sanhe said angrily. "Senior brother, I admit that the spiritual energy in the North Sand Continent is sparse. However, there is no need for us to cultivate here. I heard that the strongest expert in the divine world, the great Tao ultimate God, was a cultivator from the North Sand Continent. He advanced to become an immortal in the North Sand Continent. He tore the void and went to the immortal world. If there is really no opportunity in the North Sand Continent, how could the great Tao ultimate God ascend to immortality?" Zhang Sanhe seemed to understand what Zhang Beiling meant. His eyes lit up as he said, "Could it be that there are many ancient relics and fortuitous encounters in a place with sparse spiritual energy like this?" Zhang Beiling smiled. "Senior brother, my guess is right. Because of the sparse spiritual energy in the North Sand Continent, the cultivators from the divine world are not willing to come here. As a result, the ancient relics here have yet to be excavated. Even if the local cultivators found some cave abodes, they were too weak. They either died in the relics or gave up on exploring. Zhang San's eyes lit up. He started to agree with his junior brother. Since the great Tao ultimate god could ascend to immortality in the North Sand Continent, there must be some unknown secrets here. It was Qin Fun's first time hearing that the great Tao ultimate god was a cultivator from the North Sand Continent. Moreover, he tore the void in the North Sand Continent to enter the immortal world. No wonder the creation of heaven and earth skill appeared in the North Sand Continent. It seemed like the rumors were most likely true. Thinking about the great Tao ultimate god being able to tear the void and enter the immortal world in the North Sand Continent, which had the most sparse spiritual energy, Qin Fun was in awe. He wondered if he could reach such a height one day. If that was the case, he would be able to tear the void and bring everyone back to Earth. Senior brother, let's stay in the North Sand Continent first. Then we can explore and search for treasures. When we want to return to the West Sea Continent, we can use the high-grade flying ship to fly back, Zhang Bailing suggested. Other than this method, there was no other better plan. Zhang San's gaze suddenly fell on Qin Fun. His eyes were filled with coldness. Since this is the North Sand Continent, there's no need for us to worry. I won't do anything to deal with those ants. Junior brother, you can do it for me. Zhang Bailing immediately smiled evilly at Qin Fun. Of course, there's no need for senior brother to deal with such ants. I can kill them with one palm. Rumble. Just as Zhang Bailing finished his sentence, a huge true elemental palm print exploded in the void. The explosion was earth-shattering. That powerful, true elemental aura caused a mountain peak to collapse. Where's that kid? As his palm landed, Zhang Bailing's expression changed. He realized that his opponent had actually disappeared right in front of his eyes. How did he dodge his palm attack? You want to kill me with your puny cultivation? It seems like the cultivators from the West Sea Continent aren't that strong. A cold voice came from behind him, scaring Zhang Bailing so much that he broke out in cold sweat. Chapter 2038. Zhang Bailing immediately turned, and a blinding white light floated in midair. He knew that it was the light released by Qin Feng's essence spirit, but it was even more blinding than the light on his body. What realm are you at? You must have hidden your cultivation. Zhang Bailing said. Qin Feng was a true body condensation realm cultivator, and he had just stepped into the body condensation realm not long ago. Even he was shocked by his own strength. It seemed like the 9-leaf fire spirit lotus was extraordinary. If you want to fight, then fight. Cut the crap. Qin Feng waved his hand, and the ruler slashed down. At the same time, he willed the area to be shrouded. The purple blade light was extremely fast, like a shooting star streaking across the sky. However, no sound could be heard. Zhang Bailing was instantly trapped in the area. His eyes were blurred as he was attracted by the purple light. Junior brother, watch out. Zhang Sanha roared in anger. However, Qin Feng's blade was too fast. By the time he sensed the killing intent, he could only warn him verbally. He couldn't help at all. As Zhang Sanha spoke, there was a loud explosion. The purple blade light surged on Zhang Bailing's body. It was as if a mountain had exploded. When the mist dissipated, Zhang Bailing was nowhere to be seen. The two hollow god stage disciples of Snowfield City were shocked. Zhang family's deputy family head, a body condensation advanced stage powerful being, was killed just like that. Ayaya, Northern Sand Continent ant, I want you to die a horrible death. Zhang Sanha was furious and slapped out. The true energy hand seal floated in the air. The surging true energy condensed into a rumbling mist. There was an explosion in the sky, as if a crack had appeared in the air. The moment his opponent attacked, Qin Feng knew that this was a cauldron-filling state powerful being. Although Qin Feng had killed 3 cauldron-filling state powerful beings at the South Plain State Sword Peak, he had done it with external help. It would be extremely difficult for him to kill a cauldron-filling state cultivator alone. However, the Sword Peak was very different from now. At that time, Qin Feng was still at the Hollow God stage. Now he had stepped into body condensation realm. When the true energy giant palm was formed, Qin Feng immediately used the field and slashed out with a ferocious blade. The air instantly froze. Even the sound of the explosion froze. In the arena, Qin Feng was the king. He could clearly sense the existence of everything and even control their laws. The Zhenyuan palm print stopped in the sky, and the rolling clouds of Zhenyuan looked like a spectacular painting. Zhang Sana's old eyes were filled with shock, and his voice trembled as he said, "This is the venue? You're just a body condensation stage cultivator, yet you managed to comprehend the edge of the field." The truth was right before their eyes, but it was hard for them to accept it. As a genius cultivator of the West Sea continent, Zhang Sanhe had stepped into the first level of the cauldron filling state when he was just over 100 years old. However, he had only reached the peak of the realm of enlightenment, and it was difficult for him to reach the edge of the realm of enlightenment. Now that he had mistakenly entered a cultivation wasteland like the North Sand region, he met a young body condensation state cultivator who had also gained enlightenment. "Impossible! This is not the North Sand region. What is this place?" Zhang Sanhe cried out. Qin Feng took the opportunity to attack and swiftly slashed twice. However, the purple saber chi was not directed at Zhang Sanhe. Instead, it was directed at the two Nihility God Realm late-stage disciples. The two of them were restricted by the battlefield and could only watch as their bodies exploded. Their clones were also submerged in a violent explosion. Out of the 5 of them, only Zhang Sanhe was left. When he realized that his companions had all died, he went into a frenzy. "Little ant, I don't care where this place is or who you are. If I don't kill you today, then I'm not a human." Following Zhang Sanhe's roar, a blood fire ignited on his body. After burning his essence blood, Zhang Sanhe's aura skyrocketed, as if a tsunami was forming behind him. When Qin Feng left Deep Sea City, he was chased by Long Bin and Long Cheng, the two cauldron-filling state beasts. His realm of enlightenment was forcefully destroyed by them. Now that he met a cauldron-filling state cultivator, Qin Feng's realm of enlightenment was destroyed again. The floating true energy palm print instantly fell and exploded around him. A loud explosion shook the sky. Even though Qin Feng dodged immediately, he was still sent flying by the shockwave. He coughed out a few mouthfuls of blood in mid-air, feeling as if his organs had shifted. Without waiting for him to fall to the ground, Zhang Sanhe's palms slammed down. The strings of true essence hand seals were like moving dark clouds, covering a large area of the sky. "Little ant, go to hell." Zhang Sanhe's eyes flickered with excitement, as if he could already see Qin Feng's tragic death. However, Qin Feng actually stabilized his body and waved his saber at him. This abnormal action stunned Zhang Sanhe. He had not expected Qin Feng to do this. What was the difference between this and suicide? However, the moment the purple saber light appeared, a strange energy wave spread out and quickly spread to the surroundings, forming a new realm of enlightenment. Using saber chi to create a realm of enlightenment? You've actually achieved small success in the realm of enlightenment? Zhang Sanhe's eyes were full of fear. When he learned that Qin Feng had touched the edge of the realm of enlightenment, it was enough to shock him. He did not expect that Qin Feng had not only touched the realm of enlightenment, but had also achieved small success in it. In fact, this was the first time Qin Feng had used saber chi to create a realm of enlightenment. He had gradually comprehended this move after comprehending the invincible sex saber chi transformation. Just now, at the critical moment of life and death, Qin Feng's potential was stimulated, and he was able to create a realm of enlightenment with one saber strike. This was surprise to him. The realm of enlightenment transformed from saber chi seemed to be even more ferocious. Zhang Sanhe's true elemental hand seals immediately stopped, but the surging true elemental aura did not dissipate. It condensed into a shocking scene in the sky. As long as I, Qin Feng, am here, no one can invade the northern sand region. You can go to hell in peace. Qin Feng did not dare to stay any longer, because he knew that the new realm of enlightenment would also be broken by Zhang Sanhe's powerful cultivation. He immediately waved his saber several times, and the purple light shot out in all directions. It was like the rosy clouds that had been blown away by the night wind, but it carried a ferocious and violent aura as it exploded in the void. Zhang Sanhe was constantly attacked, and his body swayed in the air. However, with Qin Fen's current cultivation, it was difficult to completely kill him. Qin Fen immediately sent out several balls of heavenly spirit sunflower fire. The sky was filled with 2 sunflower petals of fire, and it was like a rain of fire falling. Rumble, saber chi, and flames exploded one after another. The ferocious attack was earth-shattering, and it destroyed a mountain peak in the purple cloud mountains. Zhang Sanhe was at the center of the explosion, but he was not killed. He was even burning his blood essence in an attempt to fight back. Qin Fen once again experienced the power of a cauldron-filling realm expert. Even if he could restrain a cauldron-filling realm cultivator now, it was still very difficult to kill him with his own strength. Master, the hunting pincer has awakened. It said it wants to go out to eat. Little Pig's voice suddenly sounded in Qin Fen's mind. Qin Fen was worried about not being able to kill Zhang Sanhe. Now that the problem was solved, he immediately released the hunting pincer. A golden light flashed, and even with his current cultivation, he could not clearly see the hunting pincer's movements. Chapter 2039. Ever since the hunting turtle swallowed the bloodthirsty insects at the bottom of the Wanhu Lake, it had been in a state of hibernation. Little Pig said it couldn't be sure how long it would sleep. It could be a few months, a few years, or even decades. Qin Fen found that he and Little Pig had underestimated the hunting turtle's devouring ability. The little guy's stomach was like a bottomless pit. The hundreds of thousands of bloodthirsty insects had been digested by it, and it was clamoring for food as soon as it woke up. It was during this short interval that Zhang Sanhe broke through the field and flew towards Qin Fen. At this time, he had completely become a man of fire. He madly burned his essence blood and released his true essence, looking like he wanted to perish together with Qin Fen. But before he could rush in front of Qin Fen, his body suddenly stopped in midair. This time it wasn't the effect of Qin Fen's field, but the hunting turtle had already drilled into his body. What the hell is this? An ant like you dares to use a sneak attack. Zhang Sanhe's expression changed greatly. He felt a strong sense of crisis. Something seemed to have entered his body and was madly devouring his true essence. Qin Fen immediately slashed out several times. This was a cauldron-filling state expert. He was afraid that the hunting turtle alone would not be able to take down Zhang Sanhe. A bright purple light immediately appeared in the void. It was as dazzling as the afterglow of the wilderness. But Zhang Sanhe was not in the mood to appreciate the beautiful scenery. He knew very well what kind of terrible killing intent was hidden under this beautiful purple light. Zhang Sanhe already felt powerless to block Qin Fen's attack, while also restraining the attack of the hunting turtle in his body. From time to time, there was the sound of explosions coming from his body. No, what the hell is this thing? It's actually devouring my nascent soul? Zhang Sanhe let out a strange cry. Only now did he truly feel fear. Once a cultivator stepped into the cauldron-filling state, the previously formed primordial spirit would condense into a nascent soul. As long as the nascent soul was not destroyed, the cauldron-filling state expert could exist forever. But now, Zhang Sanhe felt that his nascent soul was damaged. This was the first time he had heard of something that could devour a nascent soul. Although he couldn't believe this, Zhang Sanhe's nascent soul was rapidly diminishing. He realized that the biggest enemy now was not Qin Fen, but the strange thing that flew into his body. A nascent soul was the condensation of a cultivator's lifetime of cultivation. Once the nascent soul weakened, it meant that the cultivator's cultivation was greatly reduced. When a nascent soul completely disappeared, it meant that the cultivator had completely died. Zhang Sanhe immediately condensed all of his true essence in an attempt to force the hunting pincer out. The true essence aura was incomparably fierce, and the hunting pincer could not withstand it at all, so it flew out of his body. However, a small part of Zhang Sana's nascent soul had already been devoured by the hunting pincer, and his cultivation base was rapidly declining. Qin Fan had already sensed the weakening of his opponent's aura, so he launched a desperate attack. Rumble! A deafening noise shook the sky. For a time, blade energy, sword shadows, fiery light, all sorts of powerful attacks rained down on Zhang Sana's body. Zhang Sana's fleshly body could no longer withstand it, and a violent explosion rang out before it was completely destroyed. However, an object wrapped in white light quickly flew into the distance. It was so fast that even Qin Fan couldn't react. Not good, Master. The opponent's nascent soul is trying to escape, Little Pig shouted anxiously. Qin Fan already had some understanding of cauldron-filling state experts. If the nascent soul was not destroyed, as long as it possessed the body and soul of another cultivator, it could quickly recover to its peak state. If Zhang Sana's nascent soul was allowed to escape, it would definitely become a huge hidden danger. However, when Qin Fan chased after it on his flying sword, another golden light flashed by, and Zhang Sana's scream came from the distant sky. When Qin Fan arrived at the scene, the scream had already disappeared. What he saw was the hunting pincer devouring a huge ball of light. This little guy is too fierce. It even dares to eat a nascent soul with cauldron-filling state cultivation base. Qin Fan was stunned. The nascent soul contained the lifetime cultivation base of a cauldron-filling state cultivator, and the energy within it was endless. Even Qin Fan did not dare to use it to cultivate, let alone swallow it directly. That would definitely cause him to explode to death. However, this situation did not happen to the hunting pincer. It only used the time for an incense stick to burn to swallow the nascent soul of a cauldron-filling state expert. Then, it let out a satisfied burp and revealed a satisfied expression. Qin Fan quickly discovered that the hunting pincer's body had changed. At a speed visible to the naked eye, a layer of its skin was shed, changing from the original golden skin to purple-black. Moreover, there seemed to be a night pearl hidden in the hunting pincer's stomach, emitting a faintly discernible light. Qin Fan originally thought it was the undigested nascent soul, but he heard Little Pig say, "Master, that's not a nascent soul. It's a beast core formed by the hunting pincer. The hunting pincer has broken through and is now a level 2 star beast." Qin Fan had the hunting pincer for several years. He had always seen it eat crazily, but he did not see any changes. In the end, after the hunting pincer devoured the nascent soul of a cauldron-filling state cultivator, it automatically broke through. This made Qin Fan extremely surprised. Little Pig, after the hunting pincer broke through, does it have a new ability? What is its cultivation base now? Can it fight a cauldron-filling state cultivator alone? Little Pig rolled its eyes and said, "Master, you think too much. No matter what level the hunting pincer breaks through to, it only has one devouring ability. It has no combat ability now, but its defensive ability has increased a bit. If it encounters a Buddhist-like cultivator, it should be able to protect itself." Qin Fan. In that case, there wasn't much difference between the hunting pincer breaking through and not breaking through. Little Pig could read Qin Fan's mind and said with a smile, "Master, you can't say there's no difference. After breaking through, the hunting pincer's appetite has increased. Master needs to find more food for it. It relies on eating to break through. When it eats, to a certain extent, it will automatically break through." Qin Fan was speechless. How is this a ferocious and valiant superstar beast? This was a complete glutton. After the hunting pincer swallowed Zhang Sana's nascent soul, its eyelids began to droop. It looked drowsy again. Qin Fan was about to tell it not to sleep, in case another mighty cultivator teleported over from the purple cloud mountains. However, before he could say anything, the hunting pincer had already fallen asleep. The corner of Qin Fan's mouth twitched. He had no choice but to put the hunting pincer back into the system. He released his divine sense and scanned the vicinity of the purple cloud mountains. He didn't find any traces of other cultivators. According to the reports from the North Sand Continent's cultivators, There were many foreign cultivators coming from this teleportation gate. Qianfen only met 5 people from the West Sea Continent's Snowfield City's Zhang family. It seemed like the other foreign cultivators had already left the Purple Cloud Mountains and gone to other regions of the North Sand Continent. Qianfen still couldn't confirm the situation of this teleportation gate. He didn't know where the cultivators that were teleported over came from. Were they like Zhang Sanhe and the others, from the West Sea Continent, or even from the Snowfield Sacred Grounds Secret Realm? If they really came from the Snowfield Sacred Grounds Secret Realm, Qianfen couldn't help but worry. The West Sea Continent's spirit chi density was comparable to the South Sea Continent's. It was even more famous than the South Sea Continent. The cultivators that came from the Sacred Grounds Secret Realm were naturally almighty figures with extraordinary realms. Qianfen once again lamented that the North Sand Continent's cultivation standard was too backward. Other than him, the Nihility God stage had already become a revered expert. As for the True Spirit late stage and peak stage, they had already reached the ranks of the top experts in the North Sand Continent. This time, Qianfen had killed many revered experts and destroyed many 5-star sections. This caused the North Sand Continent's cultivation standard to drop by several levels. In such a large continent, any body condensation stage expert would be able to dominate it. If a few more cauldron-filling realm mighty figures appeared, Qianfen didn't know if he would be able to kill them. 3 days passed. Qianfen didn't meet any other cultivators near the Purple Cloud Mountains. As for the teleportation gate in the void, no cultivators were teleported over. Qianfen realized that this teleportation gate wasn't that easy to enter. Zhang Sanhe and the others probably accidentally teleported from the West Sea Continent to the North Sand Continent. On the 5th day, Qianfen rushed back to Hero City. He ordered all the cultivators in the North Sand Continent to start a carpet search for the foreign cultivators. 3 days after the search began, they found a group of 5 foreign cultivators. When Qianfen saw the 5, he was confused. The strongest was only at body condensation stage. There were 2 Nihility God stage and 2 True Spirit late stage. Where did you come from? Qianfen's body surged with powerful, true essence. Although he was only at body condensation stage 1, his aura was comparable to a peak body condensation stage expert and even had the aura of a cauldron-filling realm mighty figure. The body condensation state primary stage elder immediately replied, "Senior, please don't be angry. We accidentally entered a formation and were teleported here. We don't know where this place is and have been looking for a way to go back. If Senior can help us, we are willing to provide abundant cultivation resources in return." The 5 were evidently shocked by Qianfen's strength. Qianfen said coldly, "You still haven't answered my question. Where did you come from and who are you?" The old man immediately replied, "Qianbei, we are Demon City's extreme Dao sect disciples. I'm Feng Wuji. We were exploring Shuiyu, but after passing through a secret realm formation, we were teleported here. If we have disturbed you, please forgive us." Qianfeng had some conjectures in his heart. It seemed like the teleportation array above the Violet Mist Mountain Valley was a directional teleportation array. It could only be teleported from a secret realm in the snow domain of the West Sea Continent. He also realized that the snow domain secret realm shouldn't be too dangerous. Otherwise, with Feng Wuji and the others' cultivation, they wouldn't have sent themselves to their deaths. "What is Demon City?" Qianfen suddenly asked. Feng Wuji and the 4 disciples behind him all had looks of disbelief on their faces. Feng Wuji said, "Qianbei, you don't know Demon City?" Qianfen realized that Demon City was probably a famous place in West Sea Continent. He had never been there, so how would he know? "Answer what I ask. If you keep talking nonsense, I won't be polite." Qianfen's face was cold. The 4 disciples of the extreme Dao sect trembled in fear. Feng Wuji was also afraid. Moments later, a look of disbelief appeared in his eyes. He instinctively shouted, "Senior, could it be that this is no longer the West Sea Continent?" Chapter 2040. The expressions of the 4 extreme path sect disciples changed. They finally understood what was going on. That's right. This is no longer the West Sea Continent, but the North Sand Continent. Qinfen said calmly. The five of them were even more shocked. Feng Wuji shouted, North Sand Continent? The cultivation wasteland of the Divine Continent. North Sand Continent? Every time Qinfen saw others looking down on the Northern Sand Continent, he would feel annoyed. However, he couldn't do anything about it, because everyone was speaking the truth. Compared to the other three continents of the Divine Continent, the Northern Sand Continent was indeed a cultivation wasteland. Senior, please don't blame us. We just arrived at the North Sand Continent and don't know the exact situation here. We only heard rumors from other cultivators. Now that we're here, we know that those rumors aren't trustworthy. Feng Wuji quickly regained his senses and realized his rude words. He immediately displayed a sincere attitude. Enough with the nonsense. Tell me the exact situation of the Snow Domain secret territory. Qinfen waved his hand and said. Feng Wuji organized his words and said, Senior, the West Sea Continent has four main regions. Snow Domain City, Demon City, Dead Sea, and Misty Valley. The Snow Domain Sacred Territory belongs to Snow Domain City. There are countless secret territories, and every secret territory contains opportunities of all sizes. It's one of the best places to explore in the West Sea Continent. My four junior brothers and I entered one of the secret territories and were unexpectedly teleported to the North Sand Continent. After hearing Feng Wuji's words, Qinfen realized that the situation was much more optimistic than he had imagined. He originally thought that there was only one secret territory in the Snow Domain Sacred Territory, just like the entrance to the Violet Cloud Valley's secret territory. Who would have thought that there were countless secret entrances in the Snow Domain Sacred Territory? If that was the case, then only one of the entrances would be teleported to the North Sand Continent. Qinfen didn't know whether his guess was correct or not, but he felt that it was most likely the case. Otherwise, with the ratio of cultivators that went to explore the Snow Domain Sacred Territory, the number of cultivators that were teleported to the North Sand Continent wouldn't be so few. After understanding the situation, Qinfen placed Feng Wuji and the other four under house arrest in Hero City. He headed to the teleportation array above the Violet Cloud Mountains and waited there. As long as a cultivator was teleported over, he would capture them and lock them up in Hero City. At the same time, Qinfen mobilized all the forces in the Northern Sands region to continue searching for the cultivators who were teleported over. After 1 month, the number of cultivators imprisoned within Hero City had reached 36. The lowest cultivation of these people was in the late True Spirit realm, and the highest was in the late Body Condensation realm. With so many experts locked in Hero City, it was not a good idea to keep this up for a long time. It was like a time bomb that could explode at any moment. However, Qinfen couldn't think of a better solution. He couldn't let him kill all of them, right? Moreover, even if they managed to kill those people, they would not be able to completely resolve the crisis that the North Sand region was facing. This was because the teleportation array above the Purple Cloud Mountain range was still there, which meant that cultivators from the West Sea region would be continuously teleported over. However, 2 months later, things took a turn for the better. In the sky above the Purple Cloud Mountain range, a white light array gate appeared. It had the same aura as the previous array gate. Clearly, it was the same array formation. However, this formation door didn't seem to be a teleportation formation door because it had been half a month since it appeared and no cultivators had been teleported in. A bold thought popped into Qinfeng's mind. Could this be a teleportation formation door to the West Sea Continent? After making this guess, Qinfen decided to test it out. However, he wasn't stupid enough to jump into the array gate himself. Even if it really was a teleportation formation door to the West Sea Continent, if he left, the North Sand region would fall into the hands of those people from before. Qinfen brought the West Sea Continent cultivators over and told them that this was a teleportation formation door. Immediately, a few groups of cultivators jumped into the array gate and disappeared without a trace. Senior Qin, is this really a teleportation formation door to go back? Don't lie to everyone. Feng Wuji of the Extreme Dao sect was a bit hesitant. Like him, there were 5 or 6 other groups. These people didn't enter the formation and wanted to observe it a bit more. Qin Feng naturally wasn't sure where this formation door would teleport them to, but he couldn't care so much. He had to chase away these foreign cultivators first, otherwise the North Sand region would never have a day of peace. Stop talking nonsense. Immediately return to your continents, or else don't blame me for starting a massacre. True essence surged from Qin Feng's body. In the eyes of the foreign cultivators, he was only at the body condensation realm, but his aura was extremely ferocious. Even the body condensation realm late stage cultivator didn't dare to act recklessly. Under Qin Feng's powerful aura, everyone jumped into the array gate. Actually, it didn't matter even if this array gate didn't teleport them to the West Sea continent. In the entire Divine Supreme continent, which place had less spiritual energy than the North Sand region. Seeing that all the foreign cultivators had left, Qin Feng heaved a sigh of relief. The North Sand continent cultivators felt the huge pressure on them disappear. The foreign cultivators' cultivation was too terrifying. During this period of time, they were in a state of panic. City Lord Qin, what should we do next? That teleportation formation door didn't disappear. There will still be West Sea continent cultivators teleporting in. Sigh. The North Sand region has been troubled recently. Trouble never stops. We should cooperate fully with Senior Qin to build the North Sand region. If the spiritual energy in the North Sand region doesn't increase, our land will be invaded by foreign forces sooner or later. After the Beast Horde incident and the teleportation formation incident, the North Sand continent cultivators came to a realization. They even gave up on pursuing higher realms and decided to solve the root of the problem first. Qin Feng was very pleased with everyone's change of mindset. However, the most important thing now wasn't to rebuild the North Sand region. The North Sand region was vast and boundless. It wasn't something that could be completed in a short period of time. Moreover, the teleportation formation above the Purple Cloud Mountains was still there. If a few more cauldron filling state or even disaster transformation state cultivators were to be teleported over, Qin Feng didn't know if he would be able to hold them off. I will hand over the matter of rebuilding the North Sand region to the elders of Hero City. They will continue to lead the way. After this, I will leave for a period of time to go to the West Sea continent to seal the teleportation formation door in the Snow Domain's secret domain. Otherwise, the North Sand region will always be a threat. Everyone understood what Qin Feng said. However, they knew how powerful the West Sea continent was. If Qin Feng really went there, he would definitely be in trouble. This time, Qin Feng's return had contributed immeasurably to the North Sand region. First, he forced the Beast Horde away. Then he chased away those powerful transmigrators. Now he was risking his life to go to the West Sea continent to seal the teleportation formation. Everyone had seen what he had done, and they were in awe of him from the bottom of their hearts. Young hero Qin, don't go to the West Sea continent. That's right, Senior Qin. We all understand your intentions. However, the West Sea continent is filled with powerful cultivators. There are body condensation realm late-stage cultivators among the teleportation formation. Who knows if there are cauldron filling state or even disaster transformation state cultivators there. If Senior Qin dies in the West Sea continent, the North Sand continent really won't be able to hold on. City Lord Qin, stay in the North Sand continent. As long as there are West Sea continent cultivators teleporting over, we will fight together. Who knows, the two teleportation formations might disappear after a period of time. Chapter 2041. Qin Feng had always been a person who planned ahead. He couldn't just stand by and watch as the hidden danger was right in front of him and not deal with it. Moreover, as a rank 6 formation grandmaster, Qin Feng could see more clearly than anyone else. The two formations that appeared on the Violet Cloud Mountains were ancient and powerful. He believed that they would still exist even after 100 years. They couldn't just disappear into thin air. The only thing he could do now was to teleport to the West Sea continent and find a way to seal the teleportation formation. Otherwise, the hidden danger in the North Sand continent would always exist. Qin Feng had already made up his mind. No one could stop him. However, He wasn't in a hurry to enter the teleportation formation. This time, he was going to the West Sea continent, which was even more powerful than the South Flat continent. Qianfen had to make ample preparations. Ding! Congratulations, host Qianfen, for completing the main mission of North Sand Continent's #1 Merchant Guild. Create the #1 Merchant Guild in the North Sand Continent. Mission reward: 10 million Hedonist points, 1x Immortal Equipment Drawing Scroll, 1x Hidden Realm Drawing Scroll. Host Qianfen's total Hedonist points: 1,0329 million. Qianfen was in seclusion, planning to break through to the next stage and head to the West Sea Continent. However, on the third day of seclusion, a system notification rang in his head. The rewards of the #1 Merchant Guild mission stunned Qianfen. 10 million Hedonist points, Immortal Equipment Drawing Scroll, Hidden Realm Drawing Scroll. Each of these were resources that he urgently needed. Even though Qianfen was on the verge of breaking through with the Immortal Stones, he immediately stopped cultivating and started to extract the Immortal Equipment. Ding! Congratulations, host Qianfen, for using the Immortal Equipment Drawing Scroll to obtain Life Immortal Armor. As the system notification sounded, a light green, tight-fitting armor flew out. Qianfen immediately looked at the Immortal Armor's introduction. Life Immortal Armor forged using the Tree of Life as the main material. The introduction was extremely simple, but it was enough to shock Qianfen. He had a Tree of Life in his astral world. This was one of the 10 great immortal herbs of the Divine Supreme Continent. It could purify one's spiritual root and improve one's talent. Qianfen's alchemy skills had skyrocketed because of the Tree of Life. He had recently broken through to become a low-grade true weapon grandmaster because of the effects of the Tree of Life. Such a heaven-defying immortal herb was actually used to forge an immortal armor. Even Qianfen felt that it was a reckless waste of natural resources. But when he put on the Life Immortal Armor, Qianfen immediately changed his mind. The immortal armor flowed with a pure aura that calmed his mind. The creation of heaven and earth art began to circulate on its own. The speed was neither fast nor slow, and he was cultivating on his own. It was like carrying a moving Tree of Life with him. Wherever he went, he would be enveloped by the aura of life. Whether it was his state of mind or his comprehension, both would be greatly improved. Ever since Qianfen obtained the Tree of Life, he had never encountered any bottlenecks in his breakthroughs. This was also the reason why his cultivation speed was as fast as a rocket. If he encountered obstacles every time he broke through, it would be useless no matter how many spirit veins and immortal stones he had. However, the Tree of Life was one of the immortal herbs. It was basically impossible for it to survive on the divine mainland. Back then, the Mountain of Life had a spiritual energy gathering formation for spiritual essence ponds, and a spiritual vein as the source of spiritual energy to sustain the Tree of Life. Therefore, even after Qianfen obtained the Tree of Life, he could only keep it in the astral world. Every time he needed the Tree of Life, he would enter the astral world to cultivate in seclusion. But now, with this Life Immortal Armor, all these problems were no longer a problem. As long as he wore the Life Immortal Armor, he could enjoy the special effects of the Tree of Life at any time. Simply put, the Life Immortal Armor was a moving Tree of Life. After putting on the Life Immortal Armor, Qianfen immediately used the second drawing scroll. Ding! Congratulations, host Qianfen. You have used the Hidden Realm Drawing Scroll to draw the Martial Realm. When the system's notification sounded, Qianfen saw an extremely spectacular scene. In the system, a huge mountain fell from the sky. When it hit the ground, the entire system shook and dust filled the sky. There were 2 huge black copper doors at the entrance of the cave. When Qianfen activated his mind, the doors opened. It was pitch black inside, and even divine sense couldn't enter. It gave off a dangerous and mysterious aura. Master, your luck is too heaven-defying. You actually drew the Martial Realm. Little Pig exclaimed in surprise. What is the Martial Realm? Qianfen suppressed his excitement. Little Pig said quickly, Master, The martial realm is an extremely special space. You can think of it as a simulation field similar to the sword realm. However, the martial realm is 100 times stronger than the sword realm. This is the simulation field. Simulation field, Qin Fen was shocked. Right now, he had only achieved small success in field. He urgently needed a better opportunity to comprehend field to large success and then enter the domain. The appearance of the martial realm could be said to be timely help. Speaking of the sword realm, Qin Fen couldn't help but think of the 7th to 9th level of the sword realm. According to his previous challenge pattern, the first 6 levels of the sword realm were the comprehension of realm and field. The 7th level should be the domain. However, since Little Pig said the martial realm was 100 times stronger than the sword realm, then it naturally had its reasons. Qin Fen couldn't hold back his excitement anymore. He activated his mind and entered the martial realm. The martial realm was like a huge black hole. It was chaotic and unclear inside. It didn't even have a complete world. As soon as Qin Fen entered, he felt a powerful aura enveloping him. He was very familiar with this aura. It was the aura when the field was formed. Qin Fen casually waved his hand and created his own martial realm. The martial realm's realm instantly disappeared. The chaotic world started to spin. It was a spectacular scene of dusk and darkness. After the time it takes for half an incense stick to burn, a new world appeared. Qin Fen immediately realized that this was a huge field. This time, he took out the heaven ruler and swung it down. In an instant, he created his own field. When his field collided with the martial realm's field, a loud noise shook the heavens. An hour later, Qin Fen retreated from the martial realm. Qin Fen retreated from the martial domain. He had already familiarized himself with this new world, but his eyes were still filled with shock. In reality, the martial realm and the sword realm were extremely similar. However, there was one big difference. The sword realm was a cultivation secret realm created by Shun Zhuqing, a master of the sword Dao thousands of years ago. Perhaps because Shun Zhuqing's methods and realm weren't high enough, the sword realm he created was fixed. On the other hand, the martial realm could change at any time. The strength of the change was completely determined by the challenger's own situation. When Qin Fen used realm, the martial realm would become realm. When Qin Fen used field, the martial realm would transform into field. In short, no matter how powerful Qin Fen was, the martial realm just happened to be a bit stronger than him. Master, the martial realm doesn't just have self-challenge mode. There's also a challenge mode, a designated challenge mode, and so on. Little Pig said, the self-challenge mode is the mode that Master just activated. The challenge mode requires you to challenge the opponents simulated by the system level by level. The designated challenge mode allows Master to choose the opponent's realm. Master's challenge in the martial realm is done through your mind. You're not physically in the martial realm. Even if you die, you can restart. This is the most powerful aspect of the martial realm. Chapter 2042. Master, forget about the martial domain for now. Hurry up and level up to rank 9 Hedonist Mortal, Little Pig yelled excitedly. The main quest to become the #1 Chamber of Commerce in the Northern Sand region had been completed suddenly. However, Qin Fen remembered that he was now at the peak of martial arts in the Northern Sand region. Hero City was incredibly powerful, so the Chinese Chamber of Commerce would naturally become powerful as well. It wouldn't be surprising for it to become the #1 Chamber of Commerce in the Northern Sand region. This quest also rewarded him 10 million Hedonist points. Qin Fen only needed to spend 700,000 Hedonist points to level up to rank 9 Hedonist Mortal. He immediately looked around the system inventory and spent 1 million Hedonist points to buy a star stone. Ding! Host Qin Fen has spent 1 million Hedonist points and successfully purchased a star stone. Ding! Congratulations, host. After receiving the Hedonist Sovereign System, you have spent 20 million Hedonist points and leveled up to rank 9 Hedonist Mortal. System interface activated. Awarded 1 Hedonist Galaxy. New Hedonist System interface is being updated. Update progress, 23%. The system notifications kept ringing. Qin Feng was dumbfounded. Previously, every time he leveled up, a new interface would be unlocked. Hero Alliance, Divine Weapon, Immortal Island, Star Beast, and Star Technology were all rewards. Qin Feng had always been looking forward to the rewards of rank 9 Hedonist Mortal and had fantasized about many interface functions. However, he never thought that the system would be fully upgraded. Did I just unlock the Hedonist Sovereign System? Qin Feng muttered to himself. Little Pig revealed a rare, serious expression and said, "Master, the system comes with a secret function. I can only say that the system is more powerful than Master imagined." Qin Feng nodded. Looking at the slow update progress, he knew that he wouldn't be able to complete the upgrade anytime soon. Therefore, he didn't know much about the rewards of rank 9 Hedonist Mortal. Half a month later, Qin Feng absorbed the remaining 2 Immortal Stones and successfully broke through to Body Condensation Realm Level 4. He officially stepped into the Body Condensation Realm Intermediate stage. He felt that the true essence in his body had become many times stronger. If he met a cauldron-filling state cultivator again, he would be able to kill him with his true essence. The effects of Immortal Stones were unparalleled. Even the 7th Palace Spirit Vein in the astral world couldn't compare. It was a pity that Qin Feng had used up all 5 Immortal Stones. Otherwise, he would be able to break through to cauldron-filling state. Qin Feng did not use the Spirit Pith Pool or the Spirit Vein to continue cultivating. This was because he was pressed for time. If he did not go to the West Sea Continent to seal the formation, the Northern Sand Continent would be in danger. After coming out of seclusion, Qin Feng found out that something big had happened in the Northern Sand region. On the 10th day of his seclusion, another batch of cultivators came from the teleportation array above the Violet Cloud Mountains. Among this group of cultivators, there was an extremely powerful being who was vicious and merciless. In order to capture this group of people, many of the Northern Sand region's experts gathered at the Violet Cloud Mountain range. Unfortunately, the other party's cultivation was too high, and they were not people that could be dealt with numbers. In just 5 days, a large number of Northern Sand region's true spirit experts had fallen, and Senior Cloud Summit and Tower Master Bright Moon had escaped with heavy injuries. The North Sand region was once again in a predicament. Everyone was in a state of panic. Once Qin Feng heard the news, he immediately rushed to Purple Cloud Mountain. However, when he was several miles away from Hero City, he saw tens of thousands of cultivators forming a human wall and standing against 5 people. Those 5 people were clearly not from the Northern Sand region. Their clothes were a little strange, and their auras were not right. Qin Feng immediately scanned them with his spiritual sense. He found that 2 of them were at the peak of the Nihility God Realm, while the other 2 were at the Body Condensation Realm late stage. As for the old man leading them, he was at the Cauldron Filling State Level 2. With such a powerful formation, it would be a disaster in the Northern Sand region. Even if all the cultivators of the Northern Sand region were mobilized, it would still be difficult to kill that Cauldron Filling State expert. The Northern Sand region is indeed the last place for cultivators. Look at the ants here. Even at the true spirit realm, they could become the top experts. What a joke. Senior Uncle, let's not waste any more time here. Let's quickly think of a way to return to the West Sea region. You bunch of reckless fools. Hurry up and leave. Otherwise, when our senior Uncle Sheng Tian attacks, he will kill you all with one palm. Those people were clamoring. Even though they were facing a formation of tens of thousands of cultivators, they did not show any signs of fear. The leading Cauldron Filling State expert did not care about that. He stared at the direction of Hero City in the distance and said softly, "The spiritual energy there is abundant, and there are some special auras. Don't underestimate the Northern Sand region." Back then, the strongest great Tao ultimate god in the divine continent tore open the sky and ascended to the immortal world from the Northern Sand region. If it wasn't for the heaven-defying opportunities in the Northern Sand region, how could a great Tao ultimate god ascend to the immortal world, even if he was talented? The 4 disciples came to a sudden realization, and their originally dim eyes lit up. Senior Uncle Sheng Tian, if that's the case, let's stay in the northern sand region for now. That's exactly what I was thinking. However, these cultivators don't know what's good for them and insisted on dying. Although their abilities are nothing to be afraid of, there are too many of them. It will take some effort to kill them all, said Gongming Shengtian. The four disciples' eyes were filled with murderous intent. One of them, who was at the peak of the Nihility God realm, had already flown towards the crowd. Senior Uncle, don't worry. Leave these ants to us. Don't be fooled by their numbers. They will retreat immediately after scaring us. Rumble. A loud sound exploded in the sky. That disciple casually swung his palm, forming a gigantic, true elemental palm imprint. The palm imprint was like a five-fingered mountain descending from the sky. The palm imprint grew bigger and bigger, covering half of the mountain. The group of Northern Sand Region cultivators were filled with panic. Some of the weaker cultivators even knelt on the ground. They were suppressed by the true elemental palm imprint. Everyone retreat. We definitely can't retreat. If we retreat, we won't be able to defend Hero City. Right? Even if we die, we have to defend Hero City. City Lord Qin has contributed immensely to the Northern Sand Region. He is currently in a crucial period of seclusion. We have to defend the city for him. The Northern Sand Region cultivators had reached a high level of unity. Even the few disciples who were prepared to escape had resolute expressions and stayed behind to resist. However, the difference in cultivation between the two sides was too great. It was like the difference between heaven and earth. At the instant the palm imprint was about to land, everyone could feel death approaching. How dare you ants behave so atrociously in the Northern Sand Region? Do you really think that the Northern Sand Region cultivators are easy to bully? A low roar came from the sky. That voice was extremely familiar, instantly igniting the hope of the tens of thousands of cultivators. Qin Feng flew over on his sword. With a light lift of his hand, the ferocious, true elemental palm imprint instantly dissipated. It was as if the wind had dispersed the clouds. The peak of the Nihility God realm disciple was stunned. He raised his voice. Who are you? How dare you interfere in the affairs of our Gongming tribe? I don't care where you are from or what tribe you are from. If you dare to behave atrociously in the Northern Sand Region, you will die. Qin Feng floated in the sky on his sword. His white robes fluttered in the wind. His eyes were sharp and his brows were sharp. Chapter 2043. The Hollow Spirit State Peak Stage disciple was shocked by Qin Feng's aura and didn't dare to attack. He realized that he wasn't Qin Feng's match at all. How dare you speak so arrogantly in front of the Gongming family? You're just a body condensation state, intermediate stage. Let Grandpa deal with you. A body condensation state, tertiary stage, cultivator flew out and slashed in the air. The true energy blade Qi was like a mountain pressing down, creating a loud explosion in the air, making it hard for everyone to breathe. However, Qin Fen stood on his sword and floated in the air. He did not move at all until the Jinyuan saber Qi that seemed to have solidified above his head. Qin Fen flicked the back of the azure ruler. After a crisp sound, a purple light soared into the sky and instantly broke the opponent's saber Qi. When the purple blade Qi covered the sky, the crowd was mesmerized. They looked up at the sky with an intoxicated expression. This was definitely the brightest sky they had ever seen. Heroic heart. However, a low roar broke this tranquil and beautiful scene. A black shadow flashed by, and the cauldron-filling state level 2 cultivator suddenly attacked, trying to save the disciple who was surrounded by the purple glow. However, the explosion had already spread, and the disciple instantly exploded. Even his essence spirit dissipated. Rumble. Another loud sound rang out. Qin Feng used this opportunity to kill the other body condensation state tertiary stage cultivator. With 2 slashes, 2 body condensation state cultivators died. Even though they saw it with their own eyes, the North Sand State cultivators still couldn't believe it. Aoya, you dare to kill my Gongming family disciple. I will cut you into 1,000 pieces, destroy your Dantian, and destroy your spirit consciousness so that you can only be immortal for the rest of your life. In the cultivation continent, ordinary mortals who could not open their spirit veins had the lowest status, and the most vicious way to retaliate against a person was not to kill them, but to turn them from a cultivator into an ordinary mortal who could no longer cultivate. That kind of torture was worse than death. It could be seen that Gongming Xingtian hated Qin Feng to the bone. Just as he finished speaking, another two loud sounds exploded in his ears. The two hollow spirit state peak stage disciples were instantly destroyed. "Anxian, take this." Gongming Xingtian didn't want to say any more and slapped out. A huge Zhen Yuan hand descended from the sky like a dark cloud covering the sky. The palm brought up a fierce airflow, and when it collided with the air, it exploded with a shocking sound. Its aura was overwhelming. It was just a simple palm strike from Gongming. Yet, it was able to create such a formidable attack. The Northern Sand region cultivators were completely dumbfounded. Even the unparalleled battle 3 years ago could not compare to this palm strike from Gongming Xingtian. What level has this person cultivated to? Are all the cultivators from the Wesi region so powerful? Young hero Qin, be careful. Why do I feel that City Lord Qin is in danger this time? Seems like the North Sand region won't be able to escape this calamity. Under the power of Gongming Shengtian's palm, many cultivators felt despair again. This was the power of a cauldron-filling state cultivator. Just a casual palm could create a kind of pressure. However, while this pressure was effective against the Northern Sands continent cultivators, it was completely useless against Qin Feng. This wasn't his first time fighting a cauldron-filling state cultivator. In fact, the two protectors Hai Qiji and Yin Fei, whom he had killed at the foot of the Sword Peak, were of a higher realm than Gongming Shengtian. Although Hai Qiji and Yin Fei weren't completely killed by Qin Feng, at that time, Qin Feng had just stepped into the hollow spirit realm. Now that he had stepped into the body condensation intermediate stage, his cultivation had increased by tens of times. Wang. Qin Feng slashed out with its Song Qi, instantly forming his own battlefield. The palm that was falling from the sky suddenly stopped, and the tumbling and collapsing true essence aura was like a cloud that had lost its life, motionless in the air without any movement. What is going on? I heard that City Lord Qin has reached realm completion. Could this be realm? It's too powerful. What does realm completion mean? The crowd was dumbfounded. Such a spectacular scene was rarely seen in 100 years. Many cultivators had already heard that Qin Feng had comprehended realm. Back then, when he had forced back the beast horde, he had also displayed realm and started a massacre. But with the cultivation level of the North Sand continent, many cultivators didn't even know what realm was. Now that they had seen it with their own eyes, they finally had some understanding. In realm, everything seemed to be still, and everything was controlled by Qin Feng. However, they had still underestimated Qin Feng's current strength. What Qin Feng displayed wasn't realm. It was a stage higher than realm. This is realm? This is actually realm? You've actually reached the initial stage? Others didn't understand, but Gongming Shengtian instantly understood. However, his eyes were wide open, and he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Even in the prosperous West Sea continent, there was no body condensation state cultivator comprehending the field. Normally, only when one stepped into the cauldron-filling state could they try their luck to touch the edge of the field. Gongming Shengtian was only at the great success stage of the general realm. Not to mention, this was the last place of cultivation, the North Sand continent. Qin Feng was used to people's shocked reactions to his realm, so he was already used to it. Although he had stepped into the body condensation middle stage, facing a cauldron-filling state cultivator, he would not be careless. The instant Gongming Shengtian appeared, Qin Feng immediately used the ruler to slash down a few times, sweeping up a purple blade chi vortex that shot out. Gongming Shengtian had long seen the hidden danger under the bright purple light, but it was useless even if he knew. His body was not under his control, and there was no room to dodge. Just as Gongming Shengtian was preparing to burn his blood essence to forcefully break through the shackles of the realm, The purple light exploded and set off a ferocious wave of true essence chi. The explosive flag was extremely powerful, and even if steel was thrown into it, it would instantly explode. "You're such a thief." Gongming Xingtian had just shouted a few words when he started vomiting blood. Qinfen wasn't a thief, but he had suffered a loss in the battle with Zhang Sanhe, so he was smart this time. Without waiting for Gongming Xingtian to burn his blood essence to break through the realm, he threw out his ultimate technique first. The effect was obvious. After Gongming Xingtian was injured, he immediately circulated his true essence to protect his body. How could he have the energy to burn his blood essence to break through the realm? How could Qinfen let him have an easy time? He immediately slashed out a few more purple lights, and at the same time, he threw out a few balls of spirit sunflower flames, bombarding the 1,000-mile ray sniper a few times. Under the collision of all kinds of powerful attacks, the vast sky seemed to explode and form a black hole. It was gray, and even the divine sense of a true spirit realm cultivator could not sweep in. The explosion lasted for a long time. When the dust dissipated, there was no sign of Gongming Xingtian. No one saw how Gongming Xingtian died. Only Qinfen knew that he was killed by the explosion, and even his nascent soul was blown to pieces. Young hero Qin, did that guy escape? After a long time, someone finally woke up and immediately asked. Qinfen didn't feel any joy or sense of accomplishment for Gongming Xingtian's death. He looked at the vast sky in the direction of the purple cloud mountains with a serious gaze. He realized that he had to teleport to the West Sea continent and think of a way to seal the teleportation entrance. Those people have all been killed. I will go to the West Sea continent now. In the future, everyone will listen to the orders of the elders of the Hero Alliance. If anyone dares to rebel while I'm away, when I return, I will destroy their entire family. Qinfen's low and majestic voice was still echoing in the air, but his figure had already disappeared into the distance. Remember the website, Sandwich Chinese Network. Chapter 2044. Even though Qinfen was at body condensation realm level 4, when he entered the white gate above the purple cloud mountains, he felt dizzy. He knew that the further the teleportation formation was, the more uncomfortable it would be. At the same time, this was also related to the realm of the cultivator. It could be seen that the distance between the North Sand continent and the West Sea continent was incomparably far. After teleporting for half an incense stick of time in the chaotic space, Qinfen finally saw a ray of light. The light was so dazzling that he couldn't open his eyes. When he opened his eyes again, his feet had already landed on the ground. The first thing he felt when he arrived at the West Sea continent was that the spiritual energy here was extremely abundant, tens of times thicker than in the North Sand continent. He was surrounded by a world of ice and snow, and the sky was still filled with white snow. Qinfen let out a sigh of relief. He guessed that the teleportation portal that appeared in the Violet Cloud Valley was connected to the West Sea continent's snow domain city. This was because the environment in front of him was very similar to what Feng Wuji, the disciple of the Extreme Path School, had said. Rumble. A loud sound exploded in his ears. Qinfen immediately used his divine sense to scan the area and found that there were two groups of cultivators fighting a few thousand meters away. One group had a white-clothed youth who looked around 30 years old and was at body condensation realm level 1. The other group had 3 people. The black-clothed middle-aged man was at body condensation realm level 4, and the other 2 were at the peak of the Nihility God realm. In Qinfen's eyes, they were like ants, but in the North Sand continent, they would definitely be top-notch experts. Qinfen had just teleported over, and he had already met such cultivators. It could be seen that the overall cultivation level of the West Sea continent was extremely terrifying. Qinfen wouldn't meddle in such matters. Moreover, he had important matters to attend to in the West Sea continent, so he wouldn't waste time doing other things. However, just as he prepared to leave in the opposite direction, he saw that the 2 groups of people were already fighting. The group with more people stopped, and the black-clothed middle-aged man glared at him and shouted, "Where did you come from, brat? I advise you to mind your own business." or else I'll take your dog head. Qin Feng hadn't planned on meddling in this matter, but the other party's attitude made him very unhappy. Thus, he decided to stay and meddle in this matter. When Qin Feng looked at the three of them, he found that their clothes were extremely familiar and asked, "Which faction are you from?" "Humph! Prick up your ears and listen carefully. We are disciples of Snowfield City's Zhang family." This time, we followed the Zhang family's family head and vice family head to Snowfield's sacred ground for an adventure. Our family head Zhang Sanhe has already stepped into the cauldron-filling realm, and vice family head Zhang Bailing has stepped into the body condensation realm. Dealing with a junior like you is a piece of cake. Qin Feng came to a sudden realization. No wonder he found their clothes familiar. They were from the Zhang family of Snowfield City. When the teleportation array above the Violet Cloud Mountains appeared, the first people Qin Feng encountered were Zhang Sanhe's group of 5. At that time, he killed 4 people, and Zhang Sanhe's nascent soul was completely devoured by the hunting turtles. In the end, these 3 disciples of the Zhang family still dared to boast shamelessly. Qin Feng immediately realized that these 3 people were looking for the missing Zhang Sanhe and the others. He had come to the West Sea continent to find that mystic realm. But according to Feng Wuji, there were tens of thousands of mystic realms in the Holy Snow region. If Qin Feng had to search them one by one, he didn't know how long it would take. "Where did the 3 of you get lost from Zhang Sanhe?" Qin Feng suddenly asked. He planned to let the 3 Zhang family members bring him to find the mystic realm. The 3 of them were stunned. They couldn't keep up with Qin Feng's train of thought. The body condensation realm level 4 black, clothed middle-aged man came to his senses and shouted coldly, "Brat, you dare to call our family head by his name? I think you're tired of living." They were both body condensation realm level 4, so Zhang Haiwei wasn't afraid of Qin Feng at all. He suddenly stabbed out with his sword. The air instantly exploded, and a resplendent sword rainbow was formed. Qin Feng's expression changed. He realized that not only were the West Sea continent cultivators of higher realms, their cultivations were also much stronger than those of the North Sand continent. Although Zhang Haiwei was body condensation realm level 4, the sword chi that he released was much more ferocious. It was comparable to the South Flat continent's body condensation realm late-stage cultivators. "Young hero, be careful." A scream rang out. It was the white-clothed youth. He saw that Qin Feng didn't do anything to Zhang Haiwei's ferocious sword chi and instantly felt worried for Qin Feng. Qin Feng came to his senses, but he didn't show any signs of nervousness. He casually slashed, and a purple glow appeared. It was like the afterglow of the sunset in the wilderness. With this slash, the scene in the sky changed. Zhang Haiwei's sword chi froze. It was like a giant dragon that was frozen in mid-air. Even the snow in the sky stopped, floating in mid-air. The scene was extremely weird. However, they saw that the bright purple light was still flying, and its speed was extremely fast, like a meteor streaking across the sky. Before everyone could enjoy watching it, the purple light turned into a loud sound and exploded in the sky. Rumble! Zhang Haiwei instantly exploded. His flesh and blood splattered. The terrified soul that was fleeing was also destroyed. From Qin Feng's slash to Zhang Haiwei's death, only a breath of time had passed. Even after Zhang Haiwei died, the crowd still hadn't come back to their senses. "Do the 2 of you remember where you lost contact with Zhang Sanhe?" Qin Feng's gaze landed on the 2 peak Myhility God Realm disciples. The 2 felt like they were being stared at by a demon. They trembled in fear. Senior brother Zhang Haiwei was a body condensation realm level 4 expert. How could he be killed with 1 slash? This young man, who looked to be less than 30 years old, just who was he? You don't know? Then there's no point in keeping you. Another purple glow flashed. One of the disciples exploded into pieces before he could even open his mouth. The remaining peak Nihility God Realm disciple couldn't take the pressure anymore. He knelt on the ground and kowtowed. "Senior, don't kill me. Senior, don't kill me. I still remember where I lost contact with family head Zhang Sanhe. I could take you there now." Qin Feng wanted this kind of deterrent effect. Actually, He knew that after killing Zhang Highway, the deterrent effect was achieved. He believed that the two peak Nihility God Realm disciples would take him there immediately. However, Qin Feng didn't have a good impression of the Zhang family, so he only left one alive. As for this survivor, Qin Feng didn't plan on keeping him alive. Thank you, Senior, for saving me. I am Feng Shu, a disciple of the White Sect. May I ask Senior's name so that I can visit you in the future and repay you for saving my life? Before Qin Feng left, the white-clothed youth walked over. Qin Feng waved his hand. I didn't mean to save you. I just happened to have some conflicts with the Zhang family. You don't need to thank me. You can leave anytime. Feng Shu didn't leave. Senior Qin, Snowfield City Zhang family, is notorious. They specialize in stealing and bullying the weak. Their disciples are all sinister and cunning. I'm afraid that when you find Zhang Sanhe and the others, you will suffer. Chapter 2045. Qin Feng understood what Feng Shu was thinking and said, The Zhang family of Shuiyu City is nothing in my eyes. If that guy wants to live, he'll take me there. If he has other intentions, I'll kill him like I killed Zhang Sanhe and Zhang Bailing. Qin Feng's words were shocking. Feng Shu shouted, What did you say? You killed Zhang Sanhe of Shuiyu City? The disciple of the Zhang family was even more shocked. Zhang Sanhe was a powerful cultivator in the cauldron-filling state. Originally, he was thinking of taking Qin Feng to the place. If he was lucky enough to meet the head of the family and the vice head of the family, he would definitely kill Qin Feng to take revenge. But now, it seemed that this idea was ridiculous. Did you really kill Zhang Sanhe? Feng Shu asked again. It was obvious how shocked he was. Qin Feng said indifferently, I killed him. There's no need to lie. You should leave first. I still have something to deal with. Feng Shu suddenly came to his senses. He saw that Qin Feng was young. Even if he could kill Zhang Highway in a second, he should at most be at the peak of the body condensation realm. He didn't expect that Qin Feng could kill Zhang Sanhe, who was at the cauldron-filling state. Okay, then I won't disturb your time. May I know your name? I'll come to thank you in the future. Feng Shu said with his fists cupped. No need to thank me. Qin Feng didn't leave his name. Feng Shu finally left. Qin Feng's eyes fell on the disciple of the Zhang family. He said coldly, What are you waiting for? Lead the way. The disciple of the Zhang family trembled with fear. No matter whether it was true that Qin Feng killed Zhang Sanhe, he had seen Qin Feng kill Zhang Highway, who was at the body condensation realm level 4. He was only at the peak of the hollow god realm. How could he offend Qin Feng? They were silent the whole way. After flying for 3 days and 3 nights, the two came to an empty canyon. Qin Feng found that this holy land of Shuiyu City seemed to be covered with ice and snow, and there were heavy snowstorms all year round. When Qin Feng went to the extreme ice city of the Divine Land, he also encountered such bad weather. Along the way, Qin Feng didn't find any high-level cultivation resources except for the rich spirit qi. He didn't know why this extremely cold place was called Holy Land. What kind of treasures could those cultivators find? Elder, clan head Zhang Sanhe, and I got separated in the vicinity of the snowy mountain up ahead. The disciple of the Zhang clan suddenly halted his footsteps. In front of Qin Feng was an endless stretch of snowy mountains. There were a few rows of giant footprints in the snow. Qin Feng guessed that these were the footprints of snow beasts. When Qin Feng extended his divine sense to a radius of several thousand meters, he did not find a single cultivator. Are you sure you lost them here? Qin Feng's voice was icy cold. The Zhang family disciple said with a trembling voice, Senior, don't worry. I wouldn't dare to lie to you. I remember very clearly that this is where we lost contact with Clan Head and the others. That's right. At that time, Clan Head and the others were flying in front, while Senior Brother Zhang Highway and I follow behind. After Clan Head and the others flew over that snowy mountain, we disappeared without a trace. The Zhang family disciple pointed to the highest mountain on the snowy mountain range. Qin Feng immediately locked his divine sense around the mountain, but he did not feel the aura of a formation. You dare to fool me? My patience is limited. If there is a second time, you will completely disappear from this snowy land. Qin Fun's body emitted a surging, murderous aura, causing the Zhang family disciple to kneel on the ground in fear. "Senior, please spare my life. Everything Junior said is the truth. I didn't lie to you." Looking at the Zhang family disciple's fearful expression, Qin Fun was puzzled. He had always been a good judge of people, and this Zhang family disciple was clearly not lying. However, there was clearly no fluctuation of a formation on that tall, snowy mountain. How could it be the place where Zhang, Sanfeng, and the others disappeared? Could it be that the Zhang family disciple remembered wrongly? Seeing that Qin Fun was in a daze, the Zhang family disciple's eyes flashed with a hint of hesitation. In the next moment, he suddenly stepped on his flying sword and rushed into the distant sky. A loud explosion sounded. Qin Fun raised his hand and shot out a sword light. The Zhang family disciple's body exploded in the sky, and the 9 clones bloomed like fireworks. Qin Fun did not care about killing a peak of the Nihility God Realm cultivator in an instant. He had already flown towards that tall, snowy mountain. When he landed on the peak of the snowy mountain, he was sure that there was no formation door on this mountain. This made him a little confused. One look, and he knew that the Zhang family disciple was a coward. Why would he lie before his death? Qin Fun had no choice but to search for the formation door on the nearby snowy mountain. After a few hours, he finally understood that the Zhang family disciple was not lying. That teleportation formation door appeared randomly. At this moment, in the sky above a slightly shorter mountain, a white formation door appeared. The moment his divine sense detected the formation door, Qin Fun knew that this was the teleportation formation that led to the northern sand region. This was because the aura of the formation door was very familiar. It was exactly the same as the one in the sky above the violet cloud mountains. The formation's aura was ancient, and the method used to set up the formation was extremely profound. Even though Qin Fun had already stepped into the level of a level 6 formation grandmaster, he was still unable to see through the teleportation formation in front of him. However, his purpose for coming here was not to break the formation. He only needed to think of a way to seal the formation door. However, sealing the formation door in front of him was not an easy task. Qin Fun had set up more than 10 formations, but they all ended in failure. When he was about to try a new method, he discovered that the white formation door in the sky above the mountain had suddenly disappeared. Qin Fun realized that the formation door had probably moved again. He could only continue to search the surrounding snowy mountain ranges for a new location of the formation door. After a week of searching, Qin Fun finally figured out the pattern of the formation door's appearance. The formation door appeared once every 6 hours. Each time, its location was uncertain, and it would only appear for the time it took for an incense stick to burn. It was extremely difficult to seal the formation door in the time it took for an incense stick to burn. However, Qin Fun had no way out. He had to seal the formation door no matter what. "Master, you could try buying a sealing formation from the system," Little Pig reminded. Qin Fun looked through the system. The sealing formation was complete from low to high, and the price had increased exponentially. After a long period of observation, Qin Fun guessed that this intercontinent teleportation formation was at least a level 9 formation. He looked at the level 9 sealing formation, and his eyeballs almost fell out. There were thousands of level 9 sealing formations. Their levels, functions, and prices were all different. However, even the cheapest level 9 sealing formation required 10 million hedonist points. Qin Fun was awarded 10 million hedonist points for completing the Northern Sand Continent's #1 Chamber of Commerce mission. Currently, he still had 1,0,329 hedonist points, which was just enough to buy a level 9 sealing formation. However, ever since he had obtained the system, the most he had spent at one time was 1 million hedonist points. Now that he had to spend 10 million hedonist points, his heart bled just thinking about it. Chapter 2046. After some hesitation, Qin Fun decided to spend 10 million hedonist points to purchase the sealing formation. Otherwise, the Northern Sand region would never have peace again. Ding! Host Qin Fun has spent 10 million hedonist points to purchase the grade 9 Heaven Ceiling Formation. Host Qin Feng's total hedonist points, 329,000. Ding! Congratulations, host Qin Feng, for spending 10 million hedonist points to become a level 1 celestial sage hedonist. The system is upgrading. Rewards awaiting release. The system notification sounded. Qin Feng realized that as long as he spent 10 million hedonist points, his hedonist level would rise by 1. He immediately checked the system's hedonist level system. There were 4 levels from mortal hedonist to celestial sage hedonist to ancient hedonist to sovereign hedonist. Each level was further divided into 9 levels. For example, mortal hedonist level 1, mortal hedonist level 2. Qin Feng did some quick calculations. If he spent 10 million hedonist points to level up to sovereign hedonist level 9, he would have to spend 260 million hedonist points. This was an astronomical figure to him. Moreover, he believed that leveling up his hedonist level would not be as simple as spending hedonist points. Qin Feng cast aside these random thoughts and checked the system's upgrade progress. There was no change at all. It was still stuck at 23%. Qin Feng took out the Grade 9 Heaven Ceiling Formation and decided to seal the teleportation portal first. After purchasing the Grade 9 Heaven Ceiling Formation, he found out that it could seal the sky for millions of miles. Qin Feng was shocked. What did millions of miles mean? The whole of China was only 6 million square kilometers. Could a Grade 9 Heaven Ceiling Formation seal the whole of China? Vice Head, a secret realm formation gate, appeared above the snowy mountains. There seems to be a human cultivator. At this moment, a few black figures flew over. Qin Feng was startled and immediately looked at the 5 people who landed on the snowy ground not far away. These 5 people were not human cultivators at all. They were all emitting a cold black aura. They were clearly ghost cultivators. 3 of them were body condensation late stage. 1 was cauldron filling initial stage. And there was an elder whose cultivation Qin Feng could not see through. When this group of ghost cultivators appeared, Qin Feng immediately became nervous. This was because the formation gate that they found led to the northern sand region. The aura of this formation gate is ancient. The formation method is mysterious. Even I can't understand it. Everyone, be careful. The old man, whose cultivation Qin Feng could not see through, had a serious expression on his face. After he landed on the snowy mountain, he did not even look at Qin Feng. Clearly, he did not take him seriously. The 4 disciples were on high alert. The cauldron-filling early-stage disciple suddenly yelled at Qin Feng, "Hey, which sector are you from, you ant? Why are you standing here alone?" Qin Feng was determined not to let these 5 people enter the teleportation formation. Otherwise, the northern sand continent would be doomed. However, this wave of ghost cultivators was too powerful. Qin Feng reckoned that it would be difficult for him to fight that early-stage cauldron-filling state ghost cultivator disciple alone. Moreover, there was an old man whose cultivation he could not see through. "Why aren't you saying anything, you ant? Is he deaf or mute? If you still don't speak, believe it or not, I will kill you with 1 palm." The cauldron-filling realm disciple was extremely arrogant, and killing intent surged from his body. Qin Feng was unhappy, but he suppressed it. To him, the most important thing now was to seal the formation gate. If he rashly attacked the other party, the consequences would be unpredictable. "Seniors, I am a disciple of the Zhang family of Snowfield City. I was exploring nearby, but unexpectedly, I got separated from the family head and the others. At that time, the family head and a few senior brothers entered the formation gate in the sky. Now, 3 months have passed, and they have not come out." Qin Feng immediately made up a story. The eyes of the ghost cultivator disciples flashed with the intention to retreat. Such a strange, floating formation gate could not be casually entered. If there was an infinite amount of danger hidden in the secret realm, it would be troublesome. 3 months, and they have not come out. Did they die in there? The cauldron-filling realm disciple seemed to be asking Qin Feng, but also seemed to be talking to himself. However, he could not make a decision. Finally, he looked at the vice head behind him. Vice head Tao Huegu, what should we do now? Tao Huegu's expression was solemn. He stared at the faintly discernible white formation gate in the sky. After a long time, he said, "Let the kid in. We will see what happens first." The cauldron-filling realm disciple's eyes lit up. He immediately shouted at Qin Fun, "Hey, I will give you a chance to live. Jump into the formation gate and explore the way. Otherwise, I will kill you with one slash." Qin Fun was speechless. He had just teleported here from the North Sand Continent. Now, he was going to teleport back? Did they think he had nothing better to do? Senior, this void formation seems a bit strange. It is definitely not a treasure land inside. It is very likely to be a dangerous place. If you go in, you will only die. Qin Fun had a troubled expression. The cauldron-filling realm disciple was instantly enraged. Black mist surged around his body. "Stop talking nonsense. Either jump into the formation gate immediately, or I will use my corpse chi to corrode your body and devour your primordial spirit." Okay. I will enter the void formation gate." "Senior, please do not kill me." Qin Fun pretended to be afraid. His mind was full of thoughts as he tried to think of a solution. However, he could not think of a good solution in such a short time. The other party had at least 2 cauldron-filling realm experts and 3 body condensation late-stage experts. If they really fought, he had no confidence at all. Since he could not beat them, Qin Fun decided to seal the teleportation formation first. At most, he would use the flying cloud all to escape. If the flying cloud all could not escape, he would enter the astral space. Qin Fun had already flown into the air on his flying sword. The 5 ghost cultivators looked up, but were not on guard against Qin Fun. In their eyes, Qin Fun was as insignificant as an ant. No one would think that he would dare to do anything. Just as he rushed near the white formation gate, Qin Fun immediately threw out the level 9 heaven ceiling formation. Usually, only ancient formations would use the method of setting up a formation platform. The formation platform could maintain the formation for a long time. This was one of the reasons why ancient formations still existed after thousands of years. When he saw the level 9 heaven ceiling formation platform, Qin Fun knew that this formation was not simple. So far, he had only seen 2 formations with formation platforms. One was the immortal stone formation that he saw not long ago, and the other was the level 9 heaven ceiling formation in front of him. When the formation platform appeared, the formation automatically formed. It was as if in the blink of an eye, the sky was shrouded by a layer of strong, ancient formation aura. The formation light was expanding rapidly. When Qin Fun used his divine sense to scan, he found that the places that his divine sense could reach were all covered by the heaven ceiling formation. What a powerful formation! Qin Fun could not help but sigh. The ghost cultivators suddenly woke up with a look of disbelief. "What's going on? It seems that another formation has appeared." Deputy head, look, the void formation gate is gone. It must be that kid's trick. This human ant is really tired of living. Watch how I deal with him. The cauldron-filling realm disciple was furious and leaped into the sky. Suddenly, black fog filled the sky. The disciple was like a moving black cloud, leaving a trail behind him like a plane flying past. Chapter 2047. Rumble. A loud explosion sounded in the sky. The cauldron-filling state disciple had just rushed into the air when his body exploded. Even though he was cauldron-filling state level 2, his skin and flesh were torn apart. "Elder Injua, are you all right?" The 3 body condensation state late stage disciples immediately flew over to save him, but they found that the explosion was extremely fierce, scaring them into retreating. Tao Huegu's face was ashen. He immediately slapped the air and scolded the 3 disciples. "What are you waiting for? Hurry up and chase after the enemy." The 3 were startled and immediately flew into the sky. Tao Huegu's seemingly light palm strike immediately dispersed the purple saber chi in the sky, and the explosion immediately stopped as if it had never happened. "Deputy head, that guy hid his strength?" Tao Injua was shocked. He couldn't imagine how a body condensation state level 4 human cultivator could injure him. That ant is undoubtedly body condensation state level 4. He probably used a lightning element bead. Tao Huegu looked in the direction that Qin Feng disappeared. Tao Yingjue's eyes shone. He obviously knew about the lightning element bead. It was an extremely powerful magic treasure that could only be used once. It was formed by combining a lightning source and a spirit source. Because of the difference between lightning source and spirit source, the power of the lightning element bead was also heaven and earth apart. Some lightning element beads could instantly kill a Sage King cultivator. Some could instantly kill a Buddhist light true spirit. And there were even beads that could instantly kill a hollow god body condensation state cultivator. Although Tao Yinjue wasn't killed, he was heavily injured. He couldn't help but think, what kind of lightning source and spirit source was used to fuse that lightning element bead? Could it be the primordial spirit of a body condensation state cultivator? But in the next second, Tao Yinjue revealed a doubtful expression. There was clearly no lightning attack in the explosion just now. Was that really the power of the lightning element bead? A new formation has appeared in the sky, and the fluctuations are very strong. Tao Huegu gave up on the idea of chasing Qin Feng and focused his gaze on the sky above him. Tao Yinjue temporarily put aside his doubts about Qin Feng's attack and looked into the sky. His expression gradually changed. Vice head, why do I suddenly have a very oppressive feeling? It's as if I can never increase my cultivation level in this world. Tao Huegu also had this feeling, and it was several times stronger than Tao Yinjue's. He was a level 6 array grandmaster, so he immediately threw hundreds of array flags towards the surrounding mountains. When the array flag landed on the ground, rays of white light rose up and formed a huge spirit gathering array on the snowy mountain. However, after the level 6 spirit gathering array was formed, the spirit chi did not gather. Instead, the surrounding spirit chi strangely flew up into the sky. Vice head, what's going on? Tao Yinjue was dumbfounded. However, all cultivators who embarked on the path of cultivation understood a basic principle. Water flowed downwards, and the same was true for spiritual energy. Spirit chi always flowed from high altitude to low altitude, and finally sank into the ground, forming some natural spirit veins. However, the situation in front of them was the exact opposite. It was a complete violation of the divine continent's fundamental law. A moment later, Tao Huegu cried out, "It's that formation!" Tao Yinjue was so scared that his expression changed drastically. He had forgotten how long it had been since he last saw the Vice Abidine lose his composure like this. What formation? Tao Yinjue asked subconsciously. It's the formation that kid set up before he left. It's definitely an ancient formation, a sky ceiling formation. That kid can set up a sky ceiling formation. He even sealed the sky above the holy ground of snow. He sealed the entire sky above the holy ground of snow. Tao Yinjue muttered to himself. His eyes almost fell to the ground. Even for the 2 cauldron-filling realm experts, it was the first time they had seen someone who could seal a piece of the void with his own strength. Vice Abidine, what does he mean by sealing the void? The spiritual energy in the space under the seal will be sucked dry, turning it into a cultivation wasteland. Tao Huegu's voice trembled. What? The holy ground of snow will become a cultivation wasteland? What about the secret realms? Are they going to disappear? Tao Yinjue could not accept it. The secret realms formation entrances have disappeared. As long as the sky ceiling formation exists, no one can enter the secret realms. Tao Huegu said. The news was too shocking for Tao Yinjue to recover from. After the time it took for an incense stick to burn, Tao Huegu suddenly shouted, "Not good. The 3 of them are probably dead. Who is that kid? How can he have the ability to seal the void?" Tao Yinjue came to his senses and calmed down. He looked in the direction Qin Feng disappeared in, but when his divine sense swept over, he couldn't even see a shadow. He's clearly body condensation level 4. How could he kill 3 body condensation late-stage junior brothers? Tao Injue was confused. I can't see through that kid now. Your cauldron filling state level 2, but you were still heavily injured by him. Tao Huegu said. Tao Injue gritted his teeth. That ant sneak attacked me. Otherwise, I could have killed him with one slash. Tao Huegu didn't want to dwell on this. He shook his head and said, don't talk about it. Let's see if we can catch up to that kid. He's hiding too many secrets. We must find him. The two turned into two shadows and disappeared into the distance. Not long after, several figures landed on the snow mountain. Sect Master Xia, you're here too? A man in a gray robe was the first to speak. There were 5 people behind him. They looked like disciples, but they were all cauldron-filling state. The white-robed old man who had just landed on the mountain said, Deputy City Lord Wang Lu is probably here for the array formation in this void. The white-robed old man also brought 3 disciples with him. All of them were cauldron-filling state. The lineup was so huge that it could scare a group of 5-star sects in the South Flat Continent. However, the cultivation levels of the 2 people who were talking were immeasurably high. If West Sea Continent cultivators saw them, they would be shocked. The gray-robed old man was Snowfield City's Deputy City Lord, Wang Lu Zhoming. The white-robed old man was Heaven Cultivation Sect Master Xia Wanshi, one of the few 8-star sects in Snowfield City. Both of them were godly venerables who stood at the top of the West Sea Continent. Rumor had it that they were disaster transformation peak stage. No one knew if they had broken through to the true form realm. However, these 2 godly venerables landed on the snow mountain and looked up at the sky. A moment later, another black shadow flew over, its speed like a meteor falling to the ground. It's Senior Silent Spirit. Junior Xia Wanshi greets Senior Silent Spirit. Senior Silent Spirit, are you also here for the array formation in this void? The 2 legendary godly venerables who were disaster transformation peak stage were very respectful to the newcomer. As for the cauldron-filling state disciples behind them, they trembled when they saw the newcomer. A white-haired old man in a red robe landed from the sky. His red robe was like fire and formed a sharp contrast in the snowy world. The old man had no aura fluctuation and was no different from ordinary mortals who could not cultivate. However, he walked in the air without even stepping on a flying sword. He was thousands of meters away in the void a second ago, but it was as if he took a step and landed on the snow mountain. I was traveling nearby and noticed a change in the sky above this place, so I came to see the situation. The 2 of you come first. Tell me what happened here, said the white-haired old man in a red robe. Wang Liaoxiaoming cupped his fists and said, Senior Silent Spirit, Junior came here first. There was no one here when I arrived, so I followed Junior Brother Xia. The 2 of us started observing this void, and then we met Senior Silent Spirit, Xia Wanshi added. There's a ghost cultivator aura nearby. Ghost cultivators should have been here before. I don't know what those scourges are up to. Silent Spirit shook his head and said in an old voice, the void change this time has nothing to do with ghost cultivators. Even if the Ghost King from the Dead Sea appeared, he can't create such a huge sky-sealing array. Xia Wanshi and Wang Liaoxiaoming's expressions changed drastically as they shouted in unison, Sky-sealing array? Silent Spirit looked at the sky and nodded after a while. That's right. This must be the ancient sky-sealing array. I don't know why it suddenly appeared above the snow-sacred ground and covered the entire sacred ground. Wang Liaoxiaoming came back to his senses and forced himself to calm down. Ancient sky-sealing array? A formation that can seal an entire world? I don't know if the information about the sky-sealing array that has been passed down is true or false. But since there are rumors, they must not be baseless. I believe the 2 of you have also seen the abnormality here. The spirit chi has actually gathered in the sky. In a few years, this sacred ground will probably become a cultivation wasteland. Silent Spirit's voice was heavy. Xia Wanshi and Wang Liaoxiaoming frowned. They really couldn't understand why the ancient sky-sealing array would appear in the sacred ground. They wouldn't believe it even if they were beaten to death. But if it wasn't set up by someone, could it have existed for a long time? Senior Brother Wang Liaoxiaoming, you're the Vice City Lord of Snowfield City. You know more about the sacred ground than anyone else. Could it be that the sky-sealing array has existed in the sacred ground for a long time? What caused the array to awaken? Xiaowansher asked. Wang Liashongming shook his head and said firmly, "What junior brother CS said definitely doesn't exist. Neither I nor the city lord have heard of the sky-sealing array in the sacred ground of Snowfield. Otherwise, we wouldn't have concealed such a big matter and would have gathered all the ultimate gods in Snowfield City to find a way to break the sealing array." Xiaowansher nodded. He believed that Wang Liashongming wouldn't lie about the sky-sealing array. Such an ancient formation was not something they could deal with. It would be useless even if they invited the most powerful formation master in the West Sea continent. After the three of them discussed for a while, a few more figures arrived. Each group of cultivators was at least cauldron-filling state or even disaster transformation state. If such a lineup was thrown to the North Sand continent, it would definitely scare a 5-star sect force to death. However, when these people heard about the ancient sky-sealing array, they were all horrified. The sacred ground of Snowfield was the most precious place in Snowfield City. Be it for cultivation or treasure hunting, it was the top choice for human cultivators. If the sacred ground was really sealed by the sky-sealing array, it would be the end of the world for human cultivators in the West Sea continent. Vice City Lord Wang Liashongming, what do you think we should do? After a heated discussion, the crowd finally looked at Wang Liashongming. Even though there were a few seniors in the crowd, Wang Liashongming was the Vice City Lord and had the highest status in the crowd. Chapter 2048. Wang Liashongming did not dare to make a decision on his own. Friends, the appearance of the ancient sky-sealing formation is related to the survival of the entire Shueyu sacred ground. If the Shueyu sacred ground no longer exists, Shueyu City will slowly fall. I have to rush back to Shueyu City to discuss this matter with the Castellan. Everyone should return to your sects and see if your sect masters and masters have a good solution. In 10 days, I will hold a meeting at Light Tower in Shueyu City. Please come and discuss the solution. Wang Liashongming left with his disciples. The rest of the ultimate gods also left. 3 days passed in a flash. News of the array appearing in the sky above the holy grounds of Snow Domain spread throughout the entire Snow Domain city. However, other than Wang Liashongming and a few other elite cultivators who knew the inside story, the rest of the cultivators did not know that it was the ancient sky-sealing array. They only thought it was a very strange array. Even so, everyone in and out of Shueyu City was panicking. Have you heard? Something big happened in the Shueyu sacred ground. The entire void is covered by a strange formation. All the secret entrances have disappeared. How can we not hear about it? I just came out of the Shueyu sacred ground 2 days ago. The entrance has been sealed by the Shueyu City's palace. They are not letting cultivators in. What formation is it? I can feel something strange in the sky above Shueyu City. Is it because of that formation? Walking on the prosperous streets of Shueyu City, cultivators were talking about the ancient sky-sealing formation. A young warrior pulled someone aside and asked, "Brother, I heard everyone talking about the Shueyu sacred ground. What happened there?" The man was in his 40s and was at the peak true spirit realm. He was annoyed and wanted to scold the young man. However, after seeing the young warrior's cultivation level, he immediately cupped his fists and said respectfully, "Senior, you don't know what happened in the Shueyu sacred ground." The young warrior's expression turned cold as he scolded, "I have been cultivating in seclusion. Is it strange that I don't know what happened outside?" The man at the peak of the true spirit realm trembled in fear. He immediately replied, "Senior, please don't be angry. I was being too nosy. I heard that 3 days ago, a strange formation appeared in the sky above the holy land of Shui. That formation covered the entire sky above the holy land of Shui. Now, the holy land of Shui has been sealed. I don't know what happened inside." Where is Senior? When the peak true spirit realm man finished speaking, he found that the young hero had already disappeared. However, behind the wall of a building on the opposite side of the street, the young hero looked at the sky above Snowfield City with a grave expression. he mumbled to himself. Could it be the effect of the ancient heaven-sealing spell? This formation is too heaven-defying. This young hero was Qin Feng. 3 days ago, after he laid down the level 9 heaven-sealing formation, he drove the flying cloud all to escape. Later on, 3 body condensation stage ghost cultivators chased after him, but they were all killed by him. The soaring cloud all flew at full speed for 3 days and 3 nights before arriving at Snow Domain City. As soon as Qin Feng entered the city, he heard cultivators talking about the Snow Domain Holy Land. He pulled a cultivator over to ask about the situation and was shocked. However, Qin Feng was soon overjoyed. If what that peak true spirit cultivator said was true, and all the entrances to the secret areas in the snow region were sealed, then the array gate to the North Sand region would definitely be sealed as well. Qin Feng had come to the West Sea continent to seal the array door. Now that he had settled his worries, he planned to return to the North Sand continent. As for the way back, there were no shortcuts. He could only use the flying cloud, all to fly across the fallen god sea. Senior? It's really you, Senior. Qin Feng heard a shout of pleasant surprise. He immediately looked over, and a familiar face appeared in front of him. You're Feng Shu, a disciple of the White Sect? Feng Shu revealed a surprised expression and said excitedly, I didn't expect Senior to remember my name. It's my honor. Qin Feng didn't intentionally remember Feng Shu's name. It was just that his memory was extremely powerful. He would remember anyone he met once. I plan to go back. See you later. Qin Feng turned to leave. He didn't want to stay in the West Sea continent for long. The cultivation level here was higher than in the South Flat continent, so it was more dangerous. Feng Shu hurriedly followed him and said, Senior, are you leaving? Where are you going? Qin Feng didn't answer. Senior, didn't you come to Snow Domain City to challenge the 9 Heaven Snow region? Qin Feng suddenly stopped. What's the 9 Heaven Snow region? Feng Shu looked at him in disbelief. Senior, are you joking? As someone from Snow Domain City, how can you not know about the 9 Heaven Snow region? Qin Feng realized that he had asked a stupid question. He immediately pretended to be calm and said, Who said I'm from Snow Domain City? Feng Shu looked even more shocked. Senior, you're not from Snow Domain City? So you're not human. Qin Feng, what did that have to do with being human? I'm not from the West Sea continent. I'm from the North Sand continent. Qin Feng simply told the truth. He could see that Feng Shu was kind. Feng Shu was shocked for the 3rd time. His mouth opened and closed for a long time. After half a minute, he said, North Sand continent? Senior, you're really from the North Sand continent? What's wrong? Is there a problem with the North Sand continent? No problem. I heard that the North Sand continent is a cultivation wasteland of the Divine Supreme Continent. I didn't expect a powerful cultivator like you to appear here. It seems like the rumors are false. Feng Shu was a little embarrassed. Qin Feng didn't explain further. He brought the topic back to business. What is the 9 Heaven Snow region you mentioned? Tell me in detail. After learning that Qin Feng was a cultivator from the North Sand region, Feng Shu was relieved that Qin Feng didn't know anything about the 9 Heaven Snow region. He explained patiently, Senior, let me tell you about the general situation of the West Sea region. The West Sea continent has 4 major regions. There's Snow Domain City, Demon City, Dead Sea, and Misty Valley. These 4 regions are occupied by different races. Snow Domain City is the territory of human cultivators. Demon City is the sacred land of the demon race. Dead Sea is the forbidden land of ghost cultivators. As for Misty Valley, it was occupied by the beast race during the beast race's calamity 1,000 years ago. Hearing this, Qin Feng understood. No wonder Feng Shu was so shocked when he heard that Qin Feng wasn't a cultivator from Snow Domain City. It was because human cultivators lived in Snow Domain City. If he wasn't a cultivator from Snow Domain City, he would be a demon cultivator, ghost cultivator, or a beast cultivator. Feng Shu continued. As for the 9 Heaven Snow region, it's the most famous place in Snow Domain City. There are a total of 9 secret realms in the Sage territory. Each secret realm has a large amount of spiritual herbs, spirit stones, and other resources. Whenever the 9 Heaven Snow region opens, Not only do human cultivators from Snow Domain City come to search for treasures, but even cultivators from Demon City, Dead Sea, and Misty Valley would disguise themselves and sneak into the Sage territory. Chapter 2049. After hearing about Nine Heavens Snow Domain, Qin Fun's heart wavered. What he needed the most now was an opportunity to break through. How could he miss it? What are the conditions to enter Nine Heavens Snow Domain? Qin Fun asked. Feng Shu was overjoyed and immediately replied, Senior, the Nine Heavens Snow Domain doesn't have any entry requirements. It's open to the cultivators of Snow Domain City for free. Of course, cultivators from the other 3 plates of the West Sea continent are not allowed to enter the Nine Heavens Snow Domain. After learning more about Nine Heavens Snow Domain, Qin Fun decided to explore with Feng Shu. According to Feng Shu, Nine Heavens Snow Domain would open once a year, and each time it would open for 3 months. Qin Fun thought that he could stay in the West Sea continent for another 3 months. Once Nine Heavens Snow Domain closed, he would immediately return to the North Sand continent. Snow Domain City was filled with people. Qin Fun didn't know if it was because Nine Heavens Snow Domain was about to open. Qin Fun followed Feng Shu to Snow Domain City's big square. The square was already filled with people. Even more cultivators couldn't stand, so they surrounded the square. Yo, isn't this Snow Domain City's white sex genius eldest disciple, Feng Shu? Long time no see. Why are you still body condensation level 1? Your name is fake, right? Qin Fun heard a mocking laugh. Qin Fun looked over and saw a middle-aged man in a white robe walking over with a beautiful woman in his arms. Feng Shu frowned when he saw this person. He turned his head to the side and pretended not to see him. The man in white walked over and stood in front of him. He hugged the woman in his arms tighter. Not bad. No wonder you're the white sex genius eldest disciple. You're so arrogant. I greeted you and you pretended not to hear me. Are you embarrassed to see me? Feng Shu clenched his fists and loosened them. He looked at the man and said coldly, Gao Jin, we're not friends. There's no need to greet each other. If you're bored, go talk to someone else. Anyway, I have nothing to talk to you about. The man called Gao Jin was in his 40s, but was already body condensation level 7. When Qin Fun saw his cultivation level, he was shocked. His cultivation speed was simply heaven-defying. Gao Jin paid no heed to Feng Shu's words. His large hand pinched the chest of the woman in his embrace. The sudden action caused the woman to scream out in surprise. Ah, ha, my little sister Ruer, what's your name? Gao Jin had an evil smile on his face as he asked a question he already knew the answer to. The woman's skin immediately became rosy and tender. She pounded Gao Jin's arm and acted like a spoiled child. Brother Jin, you're so naughty. There are so many people watching. Gao Jin laughed out loud, but he had no intention of restraining himself. He slapped the woman's buttocks hard again. Nonsense. I'm your man. You can touch me however you want. Why do you care about other people's opinions? I'm your man. You can touch me. Anyway, they can't touch it. Feng Shu, don't you think? Feng Shu's face was as cold as frost. It turned out that the woman in Gao Jin's arms was her first love, the junior sister. The two of them were childhood sweethearts and grew up together in the White Sect. Unexpectedly, Gao Jin later went to the White Sect to propose marriage in the name of the Gao clan of Snowfield City and named Chang Ru to be taken away. If it was Gao Jin's one-sided proposal, Feng Shu wouldn't back down. Even if the Gao family was one of the few 8-star families in Snowfield City, Feng Shu would fight them to the end. However, Ru betrayed her and Feng Shu's simple love and threw herself into Gao Jin's arms. She just wanted to get better resources and development. Because of this, Feng Shu didn't have the heart to cultivate for the past 3 years. He stayed at body condensation level 1 and didn't make any progress. After 3 years, Feng Shu thought that all his feelings were gone. However, when he saw Ru again, Feng Shu was in so much pain that he couldn't breathe. Junior sister Ru, I respect your choice back then, but I still advise you to see the facts clearly. Gao Jin only likes your appearance and body, not your heart. When he's done playing with you one day, he'll kick you away Feng Shu couldn't help but want to warn Ru'er. The smile on Gao Jin's face suddenly disappeared. His body surged with true essence, and he slapped Feng Shu without saying anything. A giant true essence hand suddenly appeared in the void, and its ferocious aura surged toward Feng Shu. The cultivators around the square immediately fled. Many of them were scared out of their wits. Feng Shu immediately realized the danger. However, Gao Jin's cultivation was much higher than his, and it was a sneak attack at such a close distance. He could only watch helplessly as true essence rushed toward him. The feeling of being humiliated in front of his rival in love and being beaten was worse than death. Bang! There was a muffled sound. The commotion was much calmer than everyone had imagined. Qin Feng stood in front of Feng Shu. It looked like a simple lift of his hand, but he dissipated Gao Jin's ferocious palm energy. The crowd was shocked, and the sound of discussion rose and fell. Who is that young hero? How dare he meddle in the affairs of Snowfield City's Gao family? I heard that Senior Gao Jin stepped into the body condensation level 7 when he just turned 40. He is considered one of the most talented cultivators in the entire West Sea continent. I didn't expect that this young hero, who looks less than 30 years old, could block Senior Gao's attack. I recognize that person. That is Feng Shu, the eldest disciple of the 7-star sect White Sect in Snowfield City. 3 years ago, his woman was stolen by Senior Gao. It seems that they're fighting over a woman. Gao Jin didn't care about the discussion. He stared coldly at Qin Feng. Who are you? How dare you meddle in my business? Do you know who I am? Qin Feng didn't look scared at all. He said indifferently, I don't care about your identity. I only know that Feng Shu is my friend. If you want to bully my friend, you have to ask me first. Feng Shu's eyes turned red, and a warm feeling surged in his heart. He had only met Qin Feng twice. He didn't expect this senior to be so loyal. Senior, you have saved me twice. Junior Feng Shu will remember it. If we meet again in the future, I will repay you with my life. Senior, please leave first. I will take care of this myself, Feng Shu said as he cupped his fists. Qin Feng understood what Feng Shu meant. Others might be afraid of the Snowfield City Gao family, but Qin Feng didn't care at all. He wasn't a cultivator from the West Sea continent. After this 9-heaven Snowfield adventure, he would return to the North Sand continent. So what if he offended an 8-star family? The Gao family had to find him first. You want to leave alive after offending me? Do you think the Gao family doesn't exist? Gao Jin immediately used his divine sense to lock on Qin Feng's aura, afraid that he would escape. Feng Shu panicked and shouted at Gao Jin, this has nothing to do with Senior. If you are angry, just vent it on me. Don't worry, I will take care of you two ants. This is the result of offending the Snowfield City Gao family. Gao Jin was extremely arrogant. However, in the eyes of the crowd, he deserved to be arrogant. The Snowfield City's Gao family was one of the few 8-star factions in the West Sea continent. It was rumored that the retired family head had already attained the true form realm and was usually in seclusion. Only when the Gao family encountered a life-or-death crisis would he come out to show his might. If you want to fight, then fight. Stop talking nonsense. If you don't dare to fight, go away, Qin Feng said unceremoniously. The crowd was shocked. As a cultivator of Snowfield City, everyone knew about the Gao family. Usually, when they saw the Gao family disciples, they would avoid them. Rumor had it that a cauldron-filling power had a conflict with the Gao family disciples. He had killed 3 early-stage, empty god realm Gao family disciples. In less than 6 hours, a group of experts from the Gao family had appeared and killed the cauldron-filling power. Gao Jin hadn't expected Qin Feng to be so domineering. He wasn't even afraid of the Gao family. After a while, he came back to his senses and stared at Qin Feng coldly. Don't think you can do whatever you want just because you've made some progress in your cultivation. In the eyes of the Gao family, your cultivation level is lower than an ant. We have hundreds of body condensation state cultivators and many cauldron filling power. We don't even have a disaster transformation state, Divine Lord. We also have a true form realm ancestor in seclusion. We can kill an ant like you in the blink of an eye. Qin Feng said nonchalantly, I don't care how powerful the Gao family is. I only know that you're no match for me. If I'm an ant to you, then you're even worse than an ant. You. Gao Jin was so angry that he almost spat out blood. The crowd screamed. This was the first time they had seen a man who dared to go against the Gao family. Although it was very satisfying to hear Qin Feng scold Gao Jin, Feng Shu immediately came up to dissuade him. Senior, please don't say so much. The Gao family of Snowfield City is not to be trifled with. Don't implicate you because of my personal matters. After saying that, he looked at Changru and said, I've said what I need to say. If you insist on choosing cultivation resources and go against your conscience, then pretend I didn't say anything. Feng Shu, this is my woman. You don't need to say anything. Gao Jin was furious. He pinched Changru's chest and shouted, Are you jealous that I stole your little junior sister? But then again, your little junior sister's figure is really good. It's a pity that you've been with her for so many years, but you've never even touched her body. I play with this body every day and touch it whenever I want. Are you itching to see it? I'll give you a chance. Kneel on the ground and kowtow to me 3 times, and I'll allow you to touch my little junior sister. In order to vent his anger, Gao Jin had used a crazy method. Feng Shu's eyes were full of fire, and his body surged with violent, true essence. However, before he could make a move, he was stopped by Qin Feng. It's not worth it for that kind of woman. Senior, I appreciate your kindness, but don't stop me. A scholar can be killed, but not humiliated. Today, either I die or he dies. Feng Shu was so angry that he lost his mind. Qin Feng knew that Feng Shu was no match for Gao Jin. Gao Jin was deliberately provoking Feng Shu and waiting for him to make a move. Once the two of them fought, Feng Shu would definitely die in less than half an hour. Chapter 2050. Before Qin Feng could say anything else, several black figures flew over from a distance. Feng Shu, what are you doing here? One of the figures landed next to Feng Shu. Seeing this person, Feng Shu immediately calmed down and cupped his fists. Greetings, Master Feng Shi. What's going on here? Feng Shi glanced at Gao Jin and Changru. He had already guessed what was going on, and his expression turned cold. Huh. Some of the old guys from the White Sect are finally here. If the White Sect doesn't give me a satisfactory explanation today, I'll definitely report this to the Grand Elders of the Gao family. Gao Jin immediately became arrogant. Ever since the group of old men appeared, Feng Shu appeared very nervous. He lowered his head and said, Master Feng Shi, I had some words with Gao Jin. I'll take care of this. Another gray-robed old man said angrily, Bastard, it's been 3 years since that incident, and Changru's disciple married into the Gao family. Why can't you let it go? The angry old man was the Grand Elder of the White Sect, Feng Wentian. Qin Feng glanced at him, but he couldn't see through his cultivation level. He was a top-notch master, but instead of speaking up for his disciple, he reprimanded Feng Shu in front of everyone. Grand Elder, I was wrong. Feng Shu lowered his head dejectedly. Feng Wentian still didn't look happy. He said coldly, What's the point of saying this to me? Hurry up and apologize to Gao Jin. From now on, the two of you will have nothing to do with each other, and don't bother junior sister Changru anymore. Do you hear me? Feng Shu clenched his fists, but he finally loosened them. He looked at Gao Jin unwillingly. I was too emotional just now. If I offended you in any way, I hope senior brother Gao Jin won't blame me. Gao Jin revealed a playful smile. He shook his legs and said in a frivolous manner, Yo, is this still the genius disciple of the White Sect? Weren't you quite arrogant earlier? You even wanted to hit me. What's wrong with you now? Why are you apologizing to me? Gao Jin's despicable look was extremely annoying. Many of the surrounding cultivators couldn't stand it anymore. Feng Shu's eyes were bloodshot. He gritted his teeth so hard that they were about to break. Since the conflict has been resolved, we'll take our leave first. Before he could walk away, Gao Jing's shout came from behind. Stinking brat. Who said I forgave you? If you dare to run away, I'll go back and report this to the elders of the Gao family. I'll make your White Sect suffer the consequences. Feng Shu, Feng Wentian roared. Feng Shu could only stop in his tracks. He turned around and said, "What else do you want?" The smile on Gao Jin's face grew wider, and he said slyly, "No one who dares to offend our Gao family will have a good ending. But seeing that you're quite sincere in your apology, and the elders of the White Gate are here, I won't make things difficult for you. Kneel down and kowtow 3 times, then shout that you're trash, and I'll let you go this time." "Gao, don't push your luck." Feng Shu was furious. Gao Jin's face was ice cold as he said gloomily, "I'm not satisfied? Grandpa is already kind enough. Since you don't appreciate it, then fine, I'll report this matter to the family now. When the time comes, your entire White Gate will be implicated because of you. Brother Jean, there's so many people here, let's go somewhere else." Changru couldn't stand it anymore and spoke up for Feng Shu. Unexpectedly, Gao Jin was enraged. He slapped her face and scolded, "You bitch, how dare you speak up for an outsider after being with me? Do you feel bad for your little senior brother? Then you can live with him from now on." Changru covered her red and swollen face and looked at Gao Jin with tears in her eyes. "Brother Jean, don't be angry. Why would I like that piece of trash? I just saw that the elders of the White Gate are here, and I'm afraid Brother Jean will suffer." "Huh? The elders of the White Gate are nothing. They're just some cauldron-filling state cultivators. If they dare to touch a hair of mine, our disaster transformation state elders can crush them with one hand." Gao Jin was extremely arrogant. The elders of the White Gate who rushed over were furious, but they had nowhere to vent. Gao Jin's words weren't pleasant to hear, but they were the truth. The White Gate was only a 7-star sect, while the Gao family of Snowfield City was one of the few 8-star families. If the two really had a conflict, the White Gate wouldn't even know how it died. What are you waiting for? Do as he says and go back to the sect to be punished. Don't embarrass yourself here. Feng Wentian vented all his anger on Feng Shu. Everyone looked at Feng Shu, and Feng Shu looked at Feng Wentian in disbelief. "Grand Elder, what are you saying?" Feng Wentian said angrily, "Are you deaf? I told you to kneel down and apologize to Gao Jin. Don't harm the thousands of disciples of the White Gate because of your mistake." "Senior brother, isn't this a bit too much? Feng Shu is my disciple. I know his personality very well. He's not the type of person to look for trouble. I think Gao Jin started this." Feng Qi couldn't stand it anymore. Feng Wentian said angrily, "Does it matter who's right and who's wrong? Then tell me, how else can this matter be resolved?" Feng Qi was stumped and couldn't give an answer for a long time. Feng Wentian looked at Feng Shu again and said emotionlessly, "Don't waste time. You should take responsibility for your own mistakes. Don't implicate everyone else." Feng Shu clenched his fists so hard that cracking sounds could be heard. He wanted to punch Gao Jin's head, who was standing in front of him with a playful smile on his face. But in the end, he loosened his fists and bent his knees slightly. He didn't have to lower his head to Gao Jin, and he could use his life to resist, but he didn't want to implicate the entire White Gate. Before Feng Shu could kneel, a large hand pulled him up. He looked up, and tears instantly streamed down his face. When his own sect was speaking up for an outsider, the person who was willing to stand up was his benefactor, whom he had only met twice. "Senior, leave. This has nothing to do with you." Feng Shu didn't want to implicate Qin Feng. "Since I've met him, it has something to do with me. I can only say that you've joined the wrong sect. It's fine if you don't join this kind of trash sect. You should leave." Qin Feng's words were shocking. Although the White Gate was not as powerful as the Gao family in Snowfield City, it was still a 7-star sect. Many disciples in the West Sea continent tried their best to get in, but Qin Feng called it a trash sect. Feng Wentian was furious. He glared at Qin Feng and roared, "Where did you come from, you ant? How dare you speak so arrogantly here? Believe it or not, I'll kill you with one palm." Qin Feng said indifferently, "Huh? Why didn't you act so tough when the disciples in the sect were bullied? Seeing that my cultivation is lower than yours, and I don't have a backer to protect me, you're so arrogant. Dare I ask, with a good-for-nothing elder like you, how good can the White Gate be? You..." Feng Wentian was so angry that he almost vomited blood. Violent true essence surged out of his body. Everyone was stunned and extremely curious about Qin Feng's identity. This guy was even more arrogant than Gao Jin. First, he offended the Gao family, and now he had offended the first elder of the White Gate. Feng Shu jumped in fright and hurriedly stood in front of Qin Feng to plead, "Great elder, this is my savior. Please show mercy." Qin Feng pulled him away and said seriously, "Now you only have two choices. First, kneel down and apologize in front of everyone. Second, leave the White Gate and beat up Gao Jin with me." Beat up Gao Jin? Feng Shu looked at Qin Feng in disbelief. Fire surged in his heart, and he felt like his blood was about to burn. He also wanted to beat up Gao Jin, but this was not realistic. "Senior, I've decided to leave the White Gate." Feng Shu quickly made his choice. Then, he looked at Feng Wentian and said, "From now on, I'm no longer a disciple of the White Gate. My grudge with Gao Jin has nothing to do with the White Gate. You don't have to worry anymore." Feng Wentian's face turned green and purple. Finally, he swung his sleeves and left. "Humph, you know what's good for you." The people of the White Gate followed him. When Feng Qi passed by Feng Shu, he couldn't help but sigh. Feng Shu couldn't help but feel a little disappointed as he watched his master and fellow apprentices, who were once like family members, leave. But he quickly took a deep breath and smiled in relief. "Gao Jin, Feng Shu, have nothing to worry about now. Don't even think about threatening me." Gao Jin's face was livid. He gritted his teeth and glared at Feng Shu. "Your woman was stolen by me, and the sect kicked you out. What are you so proud of? How dare you bark in front of me?" "Feng Shu, do you want to beat him up?" Qin Feng suddenly asked. Feng Shu didn't understand what Qin Feng meant, but he said instinctively, "Of course." As his voice fell, a strange magnetic field rippled in the surroundings, but no one noticed the aura of the field at all. "Then, you can do it any time." Qin Feng's expression was indifferent. When Feng Shu decided to leave the White Gate, he had already planned to fight Gao Jin to the death. Although he knew that he would most likely be killed, he would rather die than be humiliated. When Qin Feng finished speaking, Feng Shu had already rushed to Gao Jin's side. He slammed his palm down, and there was a huge explosion. Gao Jin seemed to be frozen. His abdomen was hit, but his body didn't move. He opened his mouth and spat out a mouthful of blood. "What's going on?" Gao Jin's expression changed drastically. He tried to circulate his true essence, but he found that his body didn't listen to him at all. Feng Shu was also stunned by the palm. He even suspected that Gao Jin didn't attack him on purpose to humiliate him. But soon he didn't think so. No one would seriously injure himself just to humiliate his opponent. "Senior." Feng Shu suddenly came to his senses and looked at Qin Feng. Before he finished speaking, he was interrupted by Qin Feng. "Experts from the Gao family are coming. Let's finish this quickly." Feng Shu immediately slammed his palm a few more times, but found that Gao Jin really couldn't move. He was like a toy that he could trample on. A few seconds later, Qin Feng suddenly flew over and dragged Feng Shu into the distance. When everyone came to their senses, they couldn't see Qin Feng and Feng Shu anymore. Instead, Gao Jin was kneeling in a pool of blood. His handsome face had been beaten into a pig's head. If it weren't for his clothes, no one would have recognized him. Who is that young cultivator? What did he do just now? There seems to be the residual aura of a battlefield in the air. Did that young cultivator use a battlefield? Rumor has it that a battlefield can only be used when one reaches the body condensation realm. However, most cultivators only come into contact with the existence of a battlefield when they reach the cauldron-filling state. Moreover, they can only use a battlefield when they reach the late stage of the cauldron-filling state or even the disaster transformation realm. And that young hero just now used a battlefield to trap Gao Jin. It's obvious that he has reached the small success realm, but he's only at the body condensation realm level 4. He must have eaten a beautifying pill and hidden his strength. There aren't many small success realm cultivators in the West Sea continent, and all of them are famous. So that young hero is a famous person. Chapter 2051, Shuiyu City. Light Tower. More than 20 cultivators sat cross-legged in a circle in the spiritual rest tower on the top floor. In front of them was a supreme-grade spirit crystal table made of spirit crystals with top-grade spirit tea on top. The tower was filled with spiritual energy that was dozens of times stronger than the spiritual energy in Shueyu City's Grand Square. The luxurious top floor was the best location in the entire Light Tower and also the place with the most spiritual energy in the entire Shueyu City. Those who could sit in the tower were the top ultimate gods in Shueyu City. If other cultivators saw the lineup in the tower, they would be scared out of their wits. Governor Sheng, now that all the representatives of the top forces in Shueyu City are here, please express your opinion about the sky ceiling formation that recently appeared in the sky above the sacred ground of Shueyu, said Jiling, the top itinerant cultivator in Shueyu City. Everyone's eyes fell on Sheng Zhongtian. His expression was solemn as he slowly said, "As for the sky ceiling formation above the holy ground of snow, I only found out about it from Deputy City Lord Wang Lu's report. The day before yesterday, I specially went to the holy ground of snow to check it out. However, I'm not proficient in formations, so I'll let sect leader he explain in detail." Everyone's eyes fell on a green-robed, sage-like old man. Shueyu City disciples would have screamed if they saw that person. He was the sect leader of Shueyu City's 7 Stars Formation Sect, 3 Pure Formation Sect, Qianjin. Rumor had it that he had entered the Level 7 Formation King level and was the only Formation King senior in the entire West Sea continent. When the news of the sky ceiling formation appearing in the sky above the sacred ground spread 3 days ago, I immediately went to observe it. After 3 days of research, I can confirm 2 things. First, the formation that appeared out of thin air is indeed the sky ceiling formation. Second, this formation has a formation platform and is undoubtedly an ancient formation. The formation has just been activated and will cover the entire sky above Shueyu City and even extend to the other 3 major regions of the West Sea continent when it's completely completed. Qianjin's words made the atmosphere in the tower extremely heavy. Even though the lowest cultivation level among the cultivators present was at the Ekiana tripod realm, with a few disaster transformation mighty figures and even true form realm ultimate gods present, they could only watch helplessly in the face of an ancient sky ceiling formation. It's actually an ancient formation. How did this formation appear? When I rushed to the snowy region formed by the formation, I sensed the aura of a ghost cultivator from the Dead Sea. Later, I investigated and found out that the Dead Sea's 9 monastery's deputy monastery master, Tao Huagu, was hunting down a human cultivator nearby. According to Tao Huagu, it was that body condensation stage for a human cultivator who set up the Great Sky Ceiling Formation, said Wang Lu Zhongming. Xiaowan Shi, the sect leader of the 8-star sect, immediately questioned, "Vice City Lord Wang Lu, I did smell ghost cultivators when I arrived, but I don't think Tao Huagu's words can be trusted. How can a body condensation stage for a human cultivator set up an ancient sky ceiling formation? According to sect leader he, the heaven ceiling formation should be a level 9 grand formation. Not to mention the West Sea continent. No one in the entire divine continent can arrange a level 9 grand formation." Qianjin nodded. "Right? It's a level 9 sky ceiling formation." Everyone fell into deep thought. They wouldn't believe that a body condensation stage for a human cultivator could arrange a level 9 sky ceiling formation. The West Sea continent's #1 formation king, Qianjin, was there. Even if he did it himself, he wouldn't be able to arrange a level 9 grand formation. Sect leader Xia, are you saying that the ghost cultivators from the Dead Sea are lying? Why would they lie? Is there some unspeakable secret? Gao Jingqiao, Snowfield City's Gao family's patriarch, said, "I'm just guessing. After all, the conflict between Snowfield City and the Dead Sea has existed for thousands of years. Cultivators from both sides have been fighting openly and covertly. I heard that the Ghost King from the Dead Sea has achieved great success recently, and his cultivation has skyrocketed. Maybe he wants to use this opportunity to cause trouble. It's never wrong to be careful," said Xiaowan Shi. Another elder said, Even if that formation was made by the ghost cultivators from the Dead Sea, where did they get their hands on a level 9 sky sealing formation? Could it be that the Ghost King from the Dead Sea wants to seal the sky above Snowfield City and turn this place into a wasteland, then invade this land in a few decades? I don't think he's that ambitious, right? I think that everyone's thinking is wrong. That sky sealing formation might not have been set up by someone later on. In my opinion, it's more likely that it has existed in the sacred land of Snowfield since a long time ago. It's just that the formation wasn't activated before. Now, for some reason, the sky sealing formation has been activated on its own. The leader of Snowfield City's largest chamber of commerce, the West Sea Chamber of Commerce, expressed his opinion. Many people nodded in agreement. Compared to setting up a level 9 sky sealing formation, everyone present believed that the formation had existed since a long time ago. Everyone, please calm down. Seeing that the situation had become somewhat chaotic, Sheng Zhongtian waved his hand and said, "Everyone's already gone off topic. The reason why we've gathered everyone here today is to discuss how to deal with the sky sealing formation above the sacred land of Snowfield, not how that formation came about." Everyone suddenly came to their senses and realized that they had indeed gone off topic. City Lord Sheng, that is a level 9 ancient sky sealing formation. With our abilities, there's no way we can break it, He Qianjin said mercilessly. Everyone's expressions became even more serious. Is there really no other way? Wang Lu Zhoming asked. He Qianjin shook his head. Xia Wancher said, "What will happen if the sky sealing formation continues to exist?" According to my observation, the sky sealing formation is not only used to seal all the secret realms formation entrances, but its main function is to seal a realm. Whoosh! Even the West Sea continent's peak ultimate gods could not remain calm. Someone even exclaimed, "Seal a realm? What does that mean?" It means to seal a large area. No cultivator can ascend to immortality within this formation area. Sheng Zhongqian, Ji Ling, and the others immediately stood up when they heard unable to ascend to immortality, because they had already stepped into the true transformation realm. They would enter a new cultivation system as soon as they stepped into the true God realm, which was the lifelong dream of all divine continent cultivators, to ascend to the immortal realm. As for whether the immortal realm existed, even Sheng Zhongqian and the others were not sure. However, there had always been a rumor in the divine continent that the divine continent's #1, senior great Tao ultimate God, had torn the void and stepped into the immortal realm. Moreover, many peerless ultimate gods had also broken through to the true God realm and entered a new cultivation system after the great Tao ultimate God. Unable to ascend to immortality? Is what sect leader he said true? Sheng Zhongtian asked anxiously. He Qianjin nodded with an extremely serious expression. How would I dare to say such things? In fact, it's my first time coming into contact with the level 9 sky sealing formation. I only found some fragmentary information about the ancient sky sealing formation after I went back and looked through the secret formation manuals passed down by my sect's grandmasters. The information introduced the main function of the sky sealing formation, which is to seal a realm and prevent immortals from ascending to immortality. Everyone had no choice but to believe He Qianjin, since he had said so. The atmosphere in the attic suddenly became solemn. Sheng Zhongtian and the others were not the only ones who wanted to ascend to immortality. Everyone present was a peak ultimate god from the West Sea continent. Which of them did not want to ascend to immortality in the future? It's impossible for the Dead Sea's ghost cultivators to set up the sky sealing formation. Even if they wanted to invade Shuiyu City, they wouldn't use such extreme means. Since things have become so serious, I'll no longer hide the fact that the sky sealing formation has spread to the sky above Shuiyu City. At this rate, I'm afraid the entire Shuiyu City will be completely covered in 3 months. Sheng Zhongtian's words were shocking. The ultimate gods present began to feel uneasy. At their cultivation realm, it was difficult for them to have their state of mind disturbed even in the face of death. Governor Sheng, if Shuiyu City is covered by the sky sealing formation, we won't be able to ascend to immortality in the future. This is a very serious matter. I hope Governor Sheng can come up with a countermeasure as soon as possible. If you need our heaven cultivation sect's help, please let us know. Xiao Wanshi was so anxious that he had lost his train of thought. Wang Lu Zhongming said, "Don't worry, everyone. This matter happened too suddenly, and the situation is so serious. The most important thing for everyone now is to calm down. It's impossible to crack the ancient sky ceiling formation with just the power of Shuiyu City's prefectures alone. We need to come up with a countermeasure together." The attic fell into silence. One could imagine everyone's mood when faced with the fact that they could not ascend to immortality. It was worse than death. I got it. After a long time, the president of the West Sea Chamber of Commerce slapped his thigh and shouted. Deputy Governor Wang Lu said he met the Deputy Temple Master of Nining Temple, Tao Huigu, at the place where the formation was formed. Wang Lu Zhongming immediately nodded. The president of the West Sea Chamber of Commerce continued, and Tao Huigu said that the formation was set up by a human cultivator. Wang Lu Zhongming nodded again. Everyone looked at the president of the West Sea Chamber of Commerce in a daze. They had no idea what he was trying to say. For what I see, the sky ceiling formation has indeed been hidden in the sacred grounds of Shuiyu all this time. Now, for some unknown reason, it has suddenly been activated. So Tao Huigu did not lie. He thought that the formation was set up by a human cultivator at the body condensation stage 4. At this point, some of the powerhouses revealed a look of realization. They seemed to have understood what the president of the West Sea Chamber of Commerce was trying to say. Since that's the case, we'll beat him at his own game. We'll find someone to spread the news that Shuiyu City has set up the sky ceiling formation to deal with the Dead Sea. When that happens, the Ghost King of the Dead Sea will definitely panic and attack the formation. If we have the help of those ghost cultivators, we might really be able to break the sky ceiling formation. Everyone fell into deep thought. After a while, Sheng Zhongtian nodded and said, "Although this method might not work, it's the best solution at the moment. Right now, almost all the disciples in Shuiyu City know that the sky ceiling formation has appeared in the sky above the sacred grounds of Shuiyu. If we wait for the formation to extend into Shuiyu City, it will definitely cause panic among the cultivators. Why don't we strike first and tell everyone that the formation was set up by us with the goal of suppressing the ghost cultivators of the Dead Sea? This way, we can stabilize the internal strife and pressure our enemies. As for the rest of the time, we'll discuss a better strategy." Chapter 2052. Qianfen did not know that a formation he had casually set up would give a group of peak ultimate gods in Snowfield City a headache. It might even lead to a huge war between Snowfield City and the Dead Sea someday in the future. After he left with Feng Shu, the Nine Heaven Snow Domain opened and a huge white formation gate appeared in the sky. Qianfen rushed into the formation gate with Feng Shu. Qianfen even felt dizzy after teleporting for some distance. When his feet felt the ground again, he saw a strange scene of ice and snow in front of him. Although the holy ground of Snow Domain was covered in ice and snow all year round, the blizzard and wind in front of him were several times stronger than the holy ground of Snow Domain. Even though Qianfen had stepped into the body condensation realm 4, he felt cold standing in the endless snow. Qianfen was no longer affected by the cold and heat since he had cultivated to the Holy King realm. It was obvious that the snow was not simple. If a Holy King cultivator came here, he would probably freeze to death. "Senior, we've entered the Nine Heavens Snow Domain." Feng Shu seemed a little excited. He seemed to suddenly remember something and quickly suppressed his excitement before explaining to Qianfen patiently, "Senior, the Nine Heavens Snow Domain has a total of 9 layers. The entrance to each layer is uncertain. I heard that the formation gate appears randomly in the void. The higher the layer, the more intense the cold. It is said that the 5th layer can even freeze ordinary empty God realm cultivators to death. This is only the effect of the bad weather. The real danger in the holy ground of Snow Domain comes from the killing between the snow beasts and the cultivators here. Senior and I are both body condensation realm cultivators. I think we should try our luck in the first 4 layers. If we're lucky, it'll be best if we can find cultivation resources. If we can't, there's no need to risk going to the higher layers. Qin Fen roughly understood the situation in the 9 Heavens snow domain. However, he did not come for the first 4 layers. Instead, he planned to go all the way to the end. It would be best if he could enter the 9th snow domain. The two of them had already begun flying in the first layer. Under their feet was an endless snow field. The spiritual energy was abundant, but it was difficult to see any signs of life. It was as if there was no life at all in the snowstorm. After only an hour, Qin Fen was already freezing. He had been using his true qi to protect his body and did not even wear defensive spirit armor. If Feng Shu did not know about this, he would have been shocked to death. This was the first time he had heard of a cultivator entering the 9 Heavens snow domain without wearing a defensive spirit armor. Even a cauldron-filling state cultivator would not dare to be so arrogant. Qin Fen had no choice but to activate the heavenly spirit sunflower. The flame jumped in his palm like a sunflower with 2 blooming petals. When a heavenly flame appeared, the chill on Qin Feng's body immediately dissipated. He felt as if he was bathing in a spring breeze. Senior Qin, have you noticed that the temperature here seems to have risen? Feng Shu suddenly exclaimed. Qin Fen didn't mention the spirit sunflower heavenly fire, so he wouldn't scare Feng Shu. He just smiled and said, I think it's a little warmer. Maybe the snowstorm has weakened. Feng Shu truly believed this to be the case, and he felt incredibly elated. It seemed that after getting to know Qin Fen, everything had become better. At this moment, several black shadows flew over their heads. Feng Shu's expression changed slightly, and he said to Qin Fen telepathically, it's the disciples of the 3 Purities formation. Let's take a detour. Qin Fen asked, is the 3 Purities formation very powerful? Why should we be afraid of them? Feng Shu was stunned. He immediately remembered that Qin Fen was not a native cultivator of the West Sea continent. So he explained, Qin Sr., the 3 Purities formation is the only 7-star formation sect in the snow domain. Their leader, He Qianjin, has reached the level of Formation King and is also a cultivator at the peak of the cauldron-filling realm. There are very few cultivators like him who are talented in formations and martial arts. We can't afford to offend them. Qin Fen suddenly understood. Although he was not afraid of the 3 Purities formation, it was better to avoid trouble. Just as they were about to change directions, Qin Fen suddenly stopped in the air. Feng Shu asked, what's wrong, Qin Sr.? Qin Fen did not answer. He was using his divine sense to scan the mountain where the disciples of the 3 Purities formation had landed. On the cliffside of the mountain, there were 3 blue spiritual herbs. Although it was the first time he had seen such spiritual herbs in real life, Qin Fen recognized them at a glance. They were level 9 cordyceps. This spiritual herb was the main ingredient for refining the recovery pill, which could repair one's dantian. Qin Fen now had the elixir recipe for the recovery pill and could refine it, but he had not collected level 9 cordyceps. Aku and President Darklight had both lost their cultivation because their dantians had been destroyed. Qin Fen had been looking for a level 9 cordyceps to refine the Dan returning pill to help the two of them return to the path of cultivation. Now that the spirit grass was right in front of him, how could he miss this golden opportunity? Qin Sr., where are you going? Feng Shu was anxious when he saw Qin Fen rushing into the sky on his flying sword, because Qin Fen was flying in the direction of the 3 Purities formation's disciples. Feng Tian only hesitated for half a second and immediately chased after him. When he arrived at the snowy mountain, he found Qin Fen confronting the 5 disciples of the 3 Purities formation, and it looked like they were about to fight. Seniors, please calm down. My friend and I happen to pass by here. We have no ill intentions. We will leave now, Feng Shu said to the 3 Purities formation's cultivators as soon as he landed. He just glanced at them and found that there were 2 early-stage body condensation state disciples, 2 middle-stage body condensation state disciples, and 1 late-stage body condensation state disciple. Although Qin Fun had trapped Gao Jin, who was at level 7 body condensation state, Fang Shu was not naive enough to think that Qin Fun could beat the 5 people in front of him. Although these 5 people's cultivation wasn't too high, they were all disciples of the 3 purities formation. They usually focused on formations, not cultivation. As long as a cultivator had fought against an array master, they would understand a simple truth. No matter who you want to offend, you should never offend a disciple from an array formation sect. This was because an array formation master had all sorts of strange methods, and they could casually arrange an array formation to take your life. Qin Fun obviously understood what Fang Shu was thinking, but he didn't care. He looked at the 5 people and said, "You found those 3 spirit herbs first. You can take 2 of them, and the other one belongs to me. Do you have any objections?" In fact, on the Divine Supreme Continent, there was no such thing as first come, first served. Everything was based on strength. The 5 disciples of the 3 purities formation glanced at Qin Fun and Fang Shu. Seeing that one of them was at level 4 body condensation state and the other at level 1 body condensation state, they didn't take them seriously. They even thought it was ridiculous that they dared to come and steal the spirit herbs. Oomph! Where did you come from? How dare you negotiate with us? The 3 purities formation. We want all these spirit herbs. If you two don't leave now, don't blame us for being rude. The late-stage body condensation state cultivator stood up and shouted. His body surged with true essence, wanting to show Qin Fun and Fang Shu their strength. Chapter 2053. Fang Shu was nervous, but he immediately said something nice. "Senior, please don't be angry. My friend is really in urgent need of that spiritual herb. Coincidentally, there are 3 of them growing on this cliff. Why don't you let me have one? I'm willing to buy it with spirit stones." Xiao Ming sneered. "Huh, do you think we disciples of the 3 pure formation lack spirit stones? Plus, do you know what these 3 spirit herbs are? Do you think you can afford them with spirit stones? I'm warning you one last time. Get out of here or I'll kill you." Fang Shu really didn't know what a level 9 caterpillar fungus was. This level 9 spirit herb was a top-grade cultivation resource. Many cauldron-filling state cultivators couldn't even find one in their lifetime. "I wanted to leave 2 caterpillar fungus for you, but since you don't want them, I'll take all 3, Qin Feng suddenly said. Xiao Ming and the others were dazed. They didn't expect that someone would dare to rob them after they announced their sect's name. When the 2 body condensation stage disciples came back to their senses, they immediately attacked Qin Feng. Qin Feng casually slashed with his blade, and purple light filled the sky. It was as dazzling as the sunset. The sword Qi collided with the blade ray and disappeared. The purple ray continued forward and killed the 2 body condensation state mid-stage disciples. Rumble! A loud sound echoed in the sky. Qin Feng killed 2 body condensation state mid-stage cultivators with a simple slash. Everyone was dumbfounded. You dare to kill the disciples of the 3 pure formation? Do you really think you're so great just because you're a bit stronger? Set up the formation, Xiao Ming yelled after he came back to his senses. The remaining 2 body condensation state early-stage disciples also came back to their senses and threw out a sky full of formation flags. A level 6 trap formation was quickly formed. This clearly wasn't a formation that Xiao Ming and the others could set up. They had perfected it with a formation disc. When a level 6 trap formation was activated, it instantly covered a large part of the mountain. Fang Shu's face was solemn as he yelled at Qin Feng. "Oh no, senior. I'm afraid we've been trapped by a trap array." "Huh, ants like you, now you know how powerful our 3 purities formation is." Xiao Ming laughed maniacally when he saw Qin Feng and Lin Feng trapped. Qin Feng looked at him as if he was looking at an idiot and said, "The 3 purities formation is only SOSO. It looks like Shuiyu City's #1 formation sect is just boasting. You want to trap me with a mere rank 6 trap formation? Your thinking is too naive." Xiao Ming was shocked. This was the first time he had seen someone who dared to be so arrogant after being trapped in a level 6 trap array. However, he quickly realized that Qin Feng's arrogance wasn't a last-ditch struggle. Instead, he truly had the right to be arrogant. The other party casually threw several array flags into the formation. The original level 6 trap array was instantly changed, trapping the 3 of them instead. What was going on? The smile on Xiao Ming's face disappeared, replaced by a shocked expression. The 2 body condensation state primary stage disciples didn't know what was going on. They were dazed like puppets whose souls have been sucked out. Greedy people will never have a good ending. Qin Fen let out a low roar, and the ashy ruler in his hand chopped down. A loud explosion shook the sky. When the snowstorm subsided, Xiao Ming and the other 2 were nowhere to be seen. Senior Qin, they're all dead? Fang Shu couldn't believe it. Qin Feng nodded and immediately flew to the side of the cliff where the 3 level 9 cordyceps were. A strong chill assaulted him. If Qin Feng didn't activate the spirit sunflower flame in time to resist, he would have been frozen to death by that chill. Fang Shu also rushed over, but he stood 100 meters away and didn't dare to take half a step closer. Senior Qin, what kind of spirit herb is that? Why is it so cold? Qin Feng didn't answer his question because the level 9 cordyceps were used to concoct the returning field pill. The main effect of the returning field pill was to repair damaged Dantian. Qin Feng didn't know if there was a similar pill in the West Sea continent, so he didn't want to scare Fang Shu if he said it. He grabbed a level 9 cordyceps, and the level 9 cordyceps fell into Qin Feng's hand. The chill became even stronger. It felt like he was grabbing a piece of 1,000-year-old ice. Qin Feng couldn't help but shiver. He increased the intensity of the spirit sunflower flame a few more times and barely managed to control his trembling body. This is bad, master. The level 9 cordyceps withered. Little Pig's voice sounded. Qin Feng's expression changed drastically. The cordyceps in his hand had withered. The spirit chi and water in the stem and leaves had completely disappeared. The originally blue and green leaves had become the color of ice and snow. It was impossible to distinguish them in the snow. How could this be? Qin Feng couldn't understand. Little Pig said, it's probably because of the environment it grows in. The reason why level 9 spirit herbs are so rare is because the environment they grow in is very harsh. I'm afraid the cordyceps can only grow in this extremely cold snow. Once it leaves the snow, it will wither. Qin Feng suddenly understood. He realized that the 1,000-insect valley in the South Flat Continent didn't have level 9 cordyceps because the environment there wasn't suitable for the growth of this spirit herb. Now there was a problem. How could he take the remaining 2 cordyceps with him? Qin Feng thought for a long time, but couldn't find a feasible solution. The level 9 cordyceps could only survive in extremely cold environments. Even the astral world couldn't grow this spirit herb. Since he couldn't take the cordyceps with him, Qin Feng planned to refine pills on the spot. He would refine the 2 spirit herbs into returning field pills. Senior Qin, what are you doing? Fang Shu was stunned when he saw Qin Feng take out his furnace. I'm going to refine pills. Help me protect me, Qin Feng said. Fang Shu's eyes almost fell to the ground. This was the 9 Heavens snow region. It was the first time he heard of someone coming here to refine pills. Senior Qin, let's leave quickly. If the 3 Purities Formation's elder group comes, we'll be in trouble, Fang Shu advised. Qin Feng knew this place wasn't safe, but he had to refine the 2 cordyceps on the cliff. Otherwise, he didn't know if he could see this level 9 spirit herb again. I'm very fast at refining pills. Help me protect me. When someone comes, notify me immediately. Qin Feng didn't waste any more time. He entered the state of refining pills. Fang Shu opened and closed his mouth. He wanted to say something, but in the end, he didn't say anything. When Qin Feng lit up the furnace, he found that the furnace was frozen. The inside of the furnace was covered with a layer of ice, which was harder than stone. The extremely cold environment in the 9 Heavens snow region was really bad. Fortunately, the furnace Qin Feng took out was a supreme-grade spiritual weapon. Otherwise, it would have been frozen. After half an hour, the ice in the furnace was melted by the spirit sunflower's flame. Qin Feng immediately threw the 2 cordyceps into the furnace. Then, He picked the supplementary materials for refining the returning to field elixir from the herb garden in the astral world. The returning to field elixir was a Class 3, Level 7 King elixir. Qin Feng was a Class 6, Level 7 King elixir. However, it took him 6 hours to refine this furnace of returning to field elixir. It wasn't because it was his first time refining, but because the environment was really bad. If he didn't have the heavenly fire spirit sunflower, he probably couldn't even light up the furnace. Boom! With a loud sound, 12 returning to field elixir were refined. Probably because of the environment, none of the 12 returning to field elixir could be refined into supreme grade. Most of them were low grade and medium grade. There were only a few high grade ones. Even so, Feng Shu was dumbfounded. Senior Qin, you really refined the elixir? Qin Feng looked at him in confusion. I'm an alchemist. It's normal for me to refine elixirs. But this is the Nine Heavens snow region. In this extremely cold weather, many cultivators can't even protect themselves. It's really incredible that Senior can refine elixirs. Qin Feng understood why Feng Shu was so shocked. He turned his hand, and a blue flame danced in his palm. Even the blizzard around them didn't affect the spirit sunflower's flame. This is the heavenly fire spirit sunflower, ranked 20th on the divine continent. Qin Feng said. Feng Shu's eyes glinted. He stared at the flame in the blizzard. Heavenly fire spirit sunflower. So this is the heavenly fire spirit sunflower. It's the first time I've seen a heavenly fire in my life. No wonder Senior Qin isn't afraid of the cold here. Qin Feng hid the flame in his palm and put the returning to field elixir into a jade bottle. All right, let's continue exploring. The two of them continued to fly in the first layer of the Nine Heaven Snow region. Feng Shu finally understood why his body remained warm. It wasn't because the environment of the Nine Heaven Snow region had improved, but because of the heavenly fire spirit sunflower in Qin Feng's body. It was rare to see cultivation resources in the first layer of the Nine Heaven Snow region. Even snow beasts were rare. Qin Feng came across a few glacial plain wolves. They looked similar to the glacial plain snow mastiffs he had first synthesized. However, the glacial plain wolves here were very weak. They were comparable to true spirit cultivators. Senior Qin, there's a white light on the snowy mountain ahead. Maybe it's the entrance to the second layer of the Nine Heavens secret region. Feng Shu suddenly exclaimed. Qin Feng also noticed the white light. He was sure that it was a portal, but he wasn't sure if it was the portal to the second layer of the Nine Heavens secret region. A large number of cultivators had gathered on the snowy mountain where the portal appeared. These people were obviously not satisfied with exploring the first layer of the Nine Heavens Snow region. They wanted to go to the higher layers. Fellow cultivators, I am Deacon Longxiang of the West Sea Commerce. Just as everyone guessed, this portal is the entrance to the second layer of the Nine Heavens Snow region. However, there's a problem with the portal this time. We need a spiritual source to completely open the portal. Since everyone wants to go in, we'll split the energy needed to open the portal. Everyone looked at each other. They didn't believe Longxiang's words. The Nine Heavens Snow region opened once a year. It was completely free to the cultivators of the Snow region city. Therefore, it wasn't the first time many people came to explore. However, it was the first time they heard that energy was needed to enter the portal. Senior Longxiang, everyone knows that your West Sea Commerce is the largest commerce in the Snow region city. It's powerful, but you can't bully others like this, right? That's right. This Nine Heavens Snow region is clearly open to the public. Even the people of the city government didn't say anything about taking resources to enter. What right does the West Sea Commerce have to take a toll here? Chapter 2054. The crowd was in chaos. Longxiang quickly pressed his hand down and said, Fellow cultivators, please calm down. Our West Sea Trade Association is the biggest trade association in Shuiyu City. We have countless cultivation resources. Why would we rob? It's just that the secret realm's entrance really has changed and needs large amounts of energy to open. If you don't believe me, you could try entering the formation door. Long Xiang felt like his good intentions were treated as ill intent. He retreated to the side and didn't care about this. Immediately, a few cultivators charged into the air and tried to enter through the formation door. However, when they flew into the air, their bodies passed through the white formation door, and they were still flying further away. There's really something wrong with the teleportation formation door. Why is it like this? Long Xiang Deacon, have you found a way to enter the formation door? Tell me, how much energy do we need? Let's all contribute. Many people went over to Long Xiang's side with awkward expressions. Long Xiang did not take the opportunity to put on airs. He said calmly, "When I came, I was like all of you. I wanted to enter the array directly. Later, I found that although the array door was still there, the array had stopped working. I guessed that the array was lacking in energy, so I suggested that we share the energy." Everyone understood. Some people took out spirit stones and other energy sources. Long Xiang looked around and said, "There are 48 people here. Everyone take out 100,000 high-grade spirit stones and throw them into the formation door. If it's still not enough, then everyone take out spirit stones." 100,000 spirit stones was a lot for low-level cultivators, but it was nothing to these hollow spirit body condensation stage cultivators. Everyone agreed and threw the spirit stones into the array door. Those spirit stones were really absorbed by the array door. The spirit stones that had piled up like a small mountain were instantly absorbed. Feng Shu took out 200,000 spirit stones and included Qin Fan's share. However, Qin Fan stopped him. "Don't blindly get involved. Useless? Does Qin Xianbei have a way?" Feng Shu asked. Their voices were not loud, but the cultivators could still hear them. A square-faced old man stepped forward, glaring at Qin Fan and shouting, "Kid, it's fine if you don't want to fork out spirit stones, but you're still making sarcastic remarks here. Which sect are you from?" Qin Fan glanced at the square-faced old man, who was also at body condensation level, for like him, "I have no sect." The little old man's eyes were filled with a cold sneer. "So you're just an ant without a sect. No wonder you don't know the immensity of heaven and earth, speaking so carelessly in front of so many seniors. Be careful not to lose your life if you speak too much." Qin Feng smiled and didn't say anything more. It wasn't that he was afraid of this person, but that he couldn't be bothered to argue with him. When the first wave of spirit stones was thrown into the array gate, a few cultivators tried to enter the array gate, but found that it still did not work. Rumor has it that the Nine Heavens Snow Domain has existed for thousands of years, and it has been passed down to this day. The Secret Realms Formation Gate has also existed for thousands of years. It is normal for this kind of ancient formation to require a lot of energy. Why don't we each throw in 100,000 spirit stones? Long Xiang said. Now that things had come to this, there was no other way. The crowd once again threw spirit stones into the array gate. Qin Feng knew that the problem with this formation door was definitely not the supply of spirit qi. He kindly reminded everyone, don't waste spirit stones. It's useless no matter how many spirit stones you throw in. Many cultivators stopped what they were doing, and their eyes fell on Qin Feng, but no one could recognize him. The square-faced little old man who had been making a ruckus earlier jumped out again and threw 100,000 spirit stones into the array door in front of Qin Feng. "Brat, don't you have any spirit stones on you? Why are you making sarcastic remarks here? Why don't you beg me? I can help you pay 200,000 spirit stones." Feng Shu's face turned cold, and he shouted at the square-faced old man, "Ma Di, don't insult Senior Qin here. We don't lack the 200,000 spirit stones, but this array gate doesn't need spirit qi to activate. It's a waste to throw in more spirit stones. Senior Qin is helping everyone." "Huh, let me see who this is. Yo, isn't this Feng Shu, the eldest disciple who has just been expelled by the White Sect? Why are you here instead of looking for your little junior sister? I just saw Gao Jin holding your little junior sister in his arms and fighting at the foot of a snowy mountain. How wonderful that scene was." Feng Shu clenched his fists. It seemed that he still couldn't let go of junior sister Changru. Qin Feng knew that he was no match for Feng Shu, so he stepped forward and stood in front of Feng Shu. He looked at Ma Di and said, You don't have to be a busybody. It's more important to take care of your own life. Mahdi's face turned cold as he scolded. Brat, who do you think you are? Do you know who I am? I am the little elder of the six-star great sect, the Free Pool. You're just an ant without a sect. How dare you talk to me? Slap. A muffled sound suddenly spread. Qin Feng stood in the same place, as if he hadn't moved. Mahdi covered his red and swollen face and stared at him with blood-red eyes like an angry beast. Boy, how dare you? This slap is just a warning. If you dare to talk again, I will kill you. A strong, murderous aura surged from Qin Feng, as if he had walked out a mountain of corpses and a sea of blood. The cultivators gathered at the peak of the snow mountain were all stunned. Even the peak cauldron-filling state, Deacon Long Xiang, felt the danger of death. Arrogant ant, I will kill you with my own hands today. Mahdi was so angry that he didn't sense anything else. He waved his hand and slashed at Qin Feng with a long blade. But before the blade fell, a strange scene appeared. Mahdi's body suddenly stopped in midair, still maintaining the posture of leaping forward. A beam of purple light flashed past. Although it was just a flash, everyone was mesmerized by the resplendent light. In the next second, they heard Deacon Long Xiang's exclamation from the crowd. He had already flown far away. There is killing intent in the purple light. Everyone be careful. Boom! As soon as he finished speaking, a loud explosion sounded. Mahdi's body exploded in midair, and his primordial spirit couldn't escape either. It was destroyed in the aftermath of the violent blade energy. A body condensation state level 4 cultivator died, just like that. Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. When everyone's gaze landed on Qin Feng again, there was a trace of fear and shock in their eyes. This young hero is so fierce. They are both body condensation state level 4, but he instantly killed Elder Mahdi. I'm afraid he hid his cultivation. His true realm is at least cauldron-filling state. We should stay away from him. Young hero, do you have a way to enter the formation door? When he saw Qin Feng instantly kill Mahdi, Deacon Long Xiang was shocked. He realized that Qin Feng wasn't an ordinary cultivator. He must be a famous cultivator in the West Sea continent. Qin Feng had said that the formation door didn't lack energy, so Ma Xiang placed his hopes of entering the second layer of the snow region on him. Chapter 2055. I can't say for sure now. I need to observe for a while more. In short, don't throw spirit stones into the array door anymore. It's a futile effort, Qin Feng said. Everyone was skeptical, but there were no cultivators in the crowd who were proficient in array formations, so they could only wait for Qin Feng's solution. Qin Feng was already sitting cross-legged in front of the array door, using his divine sense to examine the secrets of the array door. This array door seemed to be similar to the floating array door in the Holy Lands of Snow region. It was highly likely that it was created by the same person. The aura of the array was ancient, and the method used to set it up was profound and profound. With Qin Feng's current skill in setting up arrays, it was difficult for him to understand it. However, he found something strange. The teleportation gate in front of him was not damaged at all. As for the energy supply, it was also very abundant. However, the teleportation gate had lost its teleportation function. It was hard to understand. Master, it might have something to do with the sky ceiling formation you set up, Little Pig suddenly said. Qin Feng was shocked. I set up the sky ceiling formation in the Snow Domain Holy Land. How could it affect Snow Domain City? Master, the Great Sky Ceiling spell is an ancient spell. Its power is beyond your imagination. It is very likely that the spell has already spread to Shui City. Qin Feng was in disbelief. It had only been a few days, and the Great Sky Ceiling formation had already extended to Snowfield City. If it continued to extend at this speed, the entire sky above the West Sea continent would be sealed. Moreover, Qin Feng had already understood the effects of the Great Sky Ceiling formation. This formation could seal an entire world and cause the spiritual qi to flow backward into the sky. As such, it was almost impossible to ascend to the immortal realm within the formation. Back when he had come to the West Sea continent, Qin Fun had only wanted to seal the formation that led to the North Sand continent. Who would have thought that he would end up sealing the entire snow-filled city? Regarding this matter, he felt very helpless. Putting away these messy thoughts, Qin Feng once again looked for a breakthrough point. After an hour, his eyes lit up. This array gate was actually a complete array formation. It was just that it had been disturbed by other arrays, causing the location of the array gate to deviate. Qin Feng didn't need to think to guess that the interference formation was related to the Great Sky Ceiling Formation. Otherwise, what other formation could be powerful enough to interfere with an ancient formation? "Brother Feng, come with me," Qin Feng suddenly shouted as he stepped on his sword and charged into the sky. Everyone immediately looked over and discovered that Qin Feng was actually flying in the opposite direction of the white light formation door. What is this guy doing? Have you already given up on entering the second layer? I think he can't find the cause of the formation, so he's trying to escape. Deacon Long Xiang, we have already wasted more than an hour. Don't believe that brat's nonsense. I think we should continue to throw spiritual sources into the array door. The crowd was in an uproar, and several cultivators had already begun tossing out spirit stones. When Feng Shu discovered the direction in which Qin Feng was flying, he didn't know what was going on. However, he immediately chased after Qin Feng on his sword. Buzz! Just as he rushed into the air, Feng Shu felt a strange energy fluctuation. Even though he was not an array master, he knew that this was the aura of an array formation. Where did those two people go? Don't tell me he used an escape talisman to escape. I got it. The array door has been mirrored in the opposite direction. Long Xiang came to a realization and suddenly leaped towards Qin Feng. West Sea Trading Company disciples, follow me. 5 more cultivators disappeared into the sky. This time, even if the other cultivators were stupid, they would still understand. The array door is really in that void. Everyone, hurry up and enter. How did that young hero see through it? Is he really proficient in formations? When Qin Feng's feet landed on the ground, the first thing he felt was chills all over his body. He immediately activated the spirit sunflower flame, and his body gradually warmed up. Senior Qin, you're not wearing a protective spirit armor? Feng Shu exclaimed. He hadn't noticed this until now. Qin Feng asked, is there a rule that one must wear a protective spirit armor to enter this place? Feng Shu's forehead was full of black lines. Of course, no one had explicitly stated this, but the 9 Heaven Snow Domain was an extremely cold place. The harsh environment had caused many explorers to freeze to death in here. Even a hollow god condensation body expert had to prepare a protective spirit armor here. Forget it. Senior Qin can't be viewed as an ordinary cultivator. Besides, you have the heavenly fire spirit sunflower, so it's normal that you don't wear protective spirit armor. Feng Shu sighed. Only now did Qin Feng realize that other cultivators had to use a protective spirit armor to enter the 9 Heaven Snow Domain. However, he understood it after thinking about it. Not every cultivator could have a heavenly fire. If he could only use his true fire to resist the cold, he wouldn't be able to. Brother, thank you for leading us to the second layer of the snow domain. At this time, Long Xiang also teleported in with 4 disciples. Many other cultivators followed. Qin Feng just nodded at Long Xiang and didn't want to talk too much. Then, he gave Feng Shu a look to tell him to leave. However, before the two left, a red figure flew over. Qin Feng raised his guard immediately. The other party didn't launch an attack. She landed in front of him and said, I'm Hong Chun Wu. Greetings, Senior. Qin Feng had seen too many beautiful women, and the women he had subdued were all devastatingly beautiful. However, he was still stunned by the beauty of the woman in front of him. Or rather, he wasn't attracted by the woman's appearance. She wore a long red dress and a red veil, so he couldn't see her appearance at all. However, the woman's figure was perfect. Even under the loose red dress, it couldn't hide her impressive figure. Moreover, her plump curves weren't exaggerated. They reached the perfect golden ratio. It seemed that any part of her body was just right. A little more or a little less flesh was superfluous. Feng Shu was also attracted by the woman, and even his eyes became hollow. Qin Feng immediately realized that the situation was bad. This woman had used a charm technique, and it was a very high-level one. Even he had almost been tricked. "Who are you? What do you want?" A wave of killing intent surged out from Qin Feng's body. The killing intent seemed to solidify, and the woman was so scared that she instinctively retreated. "Senior, please calm down. I was born with a charm, and I didn't use any magic," Hong Chunwu hurriedly said. The coldness around Qin Feng's body decreased by more than half. He calmly looked around and found that there really wasn't any demonic qi or evil qi in the air. It seemed that this woman was like Zhao Lingxian and had a rare charm. "I came to the Nine Heavens Snow Domain alone to explore. I would like to form a team with Senior. I hope Senior will accept me," Hong Chunwu said. By now, the cultivators outside had all been teleported in. When they saw Hong Chunwu, their bodies became restless. "Junior sister, why don't you join our Positive Sun Sects team?" The Positive Sun Sect is one of the 7-star sects in Snow Domain City. "We can protect you." A white-clothed middle-aged man walked over. He was handsome and had a strong aura. Qin Feng could tell that this person was a cauldron-filling, early-stage, powerful cultivator. He thought that Hong Chunwu would definitely join them. However, the woman refused on the spot. "Thank you for your kindness, Senior, but I still want to stay by Senior Qin's side. Senior Qin, I hope you can accept me." You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.